Jeremy Crawford, and Twitch.
The
The 2024 edition is so weird.
You might want to be careful. They are actively striking YouTube channels.
Oh no, not my YouTube channel.
Yeah, they are.
Huh.
People reviewing the Dungeons and Dragons are getting strikes from Wizards.
Hey Hasbro, give me a job.
And welcome to the stream.
Man, people giving him free publicity and they're striking it. That's
I've been saying this for
standard
years,
corporate
guys.
fare.
All press is good press.
right.
Let's see if I can find something here we can put on. Let's go for
Metallica instrumentals.
No.
Okay.
Honestly, because I know so much about how broken the YouTube system is, it might not even be Wizards. It might be somebody pretending to be Wizards because YouTube doesn't even check that. They just take the word for it.
Thanks, Biden.
Great strikes.
All right. A little bit of
Wait,
creepy
did you-
music to get us started. This one's a little low. You might need to crank it up a little bit. This might be too chill. We'll see. All right. Alrighty. In the valley of Barovia, there is a windmill. A windmill that has another name. It's called the Old Bone Grinder. At least by those that know it these days. Got people say that it's haunted or dangerous, but nobody really knew much about it when you guys were asking. You had found a deed for it in Durst Manor and figured, hey, well, we have the deed. It belongs to us now. So we're just going to go there and we're going to claim it. But turns out that this windmill is occupied by a group of women that turned out to be a coven of witches of some kind, magical powers, who did not give a shit about your little piece of paper. They tried to kind of fend you off with offers of these little meat pies that they had, and kind of shooed you away. Told you to come back once you had talked to the burgomaster of Barovia to see if what you had was legitimate. And just as you kind of stepped outside of the windmill,
Garrison took that personally.
What was that?
I said, and Garrison took that personally.
No. I think it was pretty much the rest of the group did when Nazoth succumbed to the strange effects of one of these meat pies that he had devoured whole, and kind of his eyes went blurry and he fell over. And the group decided at that point that these people were up to no good. They kicked down the door. He fought them up into the upper floors of the windmill. Eventually drove them away as they vanished into the ethereal plane one by one. Now you find yourselves up at the top, and there is a couple of cages up here with two children and a girl and a boy. Boy kind of staring at it with these big eyes, seemingly unafraid of his situation here, despite the fact that there were demonic chickens kind of running around here in mass just a few moments ago, and witches casting spells and blood flying. Girl in another cage, it's another story. She is freaking out, kind of crying, tears coming down her face and begging to be let out. What do you do? You two guys. Please help me, she says. Let me out. I want to go home. I won't be bad anymore, I promise.
Timothy, cut your whining up there.
This time it's not Timothy. Esmeralda's like, I don't think that that's your friend. That sounds like a little child. She starts going up the stairs.
All right, let's go check it out here.
So I'm gonna climb back down the stairs and re-enter the room.
All right, it's getting a little crowded here.
All right. We need to release the children. That sounded weird. Sorry.
Really?
The children.
Gretchen has weaponized the children.
The children.
No, it's okay. I think we'll stay in here, the girl says.
Get away from me.
Oh, sorry. But no, we really do need to let them go.
Child, keep it away from me.
You're gonna have to find a key for these things, or break the locks. And they don't seem to be especially difficult to get open.
Someone with a
Timothy will-
strength score?
Timothy will try and break the locks.
Or just even a basic lockpick could probably do it.
Do we have to let them out?
We don't have any rogues, so no.
I don't think
No,
you don't have
maybe-
one person in this group that can
I
use a
know, right?
lockpick, do you?
I believe Riles does.
And
Oh,
our
maybe
druid
right.
doesn't know this time.
Every door from now on is going to have a simple lock on it.
I think Riles does.
I don't think I do.
My
I don't have a
audio working?
lockpick kit.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you
You
say?
have lockpicks? Now we
Well,
can.
now
No,
now we
Now we
can't
can.
hear you.
If you're down lower, now he's just quiet. Can you hear me? And then he just decided to say nothing.
I was
Hello?
just making sure my audio was working because y'all weren't.
Yeah, we are, but I think people are
Anything else?
talking over each other. What were you saying?
I was just role playing Nazoth. I was like, do we have to free him?
Right, yeah, and then the people, I think people were ignoring you.
I didn't
I
hear
think
it.
that was also role
Sorry.
playing on the behalf of everyone else in the group. Do we have to free them? Maybe there's a couple of side eyes in
He
Nazoth.
doesn't like kids. He doesn't like kids. Like, kids are sticky and gross and annoying. And
Does
can't kill
Nazoth
them
say
because
this
people
just
get
out
all
loud?
uppity. Yeah.
And they're standing right there.
And the worst part is you can't kill them because people get all uppity.
Naz.
We should say that in front of them.
What villages are you from, children?
The boy doesn't answer you, but the girl says, "I'm from Barovia, the village of Barovia."
Mm.
Oh, that
I-
works.
I
for
think
contact
I think
right
he is too. My name's Myrtle. That's Freak. And she points to the boy below her. I know him. He's also from the same village, but he doesn't talk. The boy just sits there staring at you.
now. All right, Bim, open that cage.
Timothy will try and rip the lock off, or the door, or just anything that looks weak or anything like that.
You manage to get them out. It's not too much of a hassle. A little bit of strength and elbow grease, and Bimothy's strong, so it doesn't take much. Snap. Either the door breaks or the lock breaks, and you pull them free. The girl clambers out and tries to get away from the cage, and is kind of looking for a place to be away from everyone, but it's so crowded up here with all of you here that there's no place for her to really go. The boy kind of just steps out right into the middle of your group, kind of near this sort of the center pole that goes up to the windmill above, and just stands there, kind of like looking around, a little bit listless. Doesn't say anything.
Myrtle, come over here. Let me look after you, see if you're injured. Can I do a medicine check?
Sure, go ahead. She does not seem to be injured. Maybe, in fact, she seems to be perfectly healthy. Both of them do.
Huh.
Maybe a little bit chubby.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get them out of here.
Yeah, let's get back
We have a Hansel
to...
and Gretel situation going on here, didn't we?
Yeah, let's get to Barovia. Come on, children. I offer my hand to Myrtle and start walking down the stairs.
She takes your hand and follows you, and Freak doesn't take your hand, but just follows after, kind of still just sort of like looking around. Let's take a look at this room real quick, just to make sure that you guys didn't miss anything in here. Sort of ended right at the end of that battle. So give me a moment here. While we look around. The old bone grinder. On the way up at this point is Esmeralda and Garrison, so it's gotten super crowded here. Just as you're bringing the girl and the boy down the stairs, Esmeralda's coming up, and Garrison kind of in tow. And Esmeralda says, "See, look, I don't think that was your friend." She sees the girl who's kind of weeping. Openly.
Goblins. Oh no, those are just
You
children.
just call out goblins. The girl goes, "Eh!" and looks around like in terror for
Says the
maybe
hobgoblin.
He's
goblins.
just
Timothy
kidding.
also looks around in terror.
He's just kidding. It's all right.
God,
An apt
she points at
comparison.
Garrison.
Where did you find children?
Locked in cages.
This is hilarious. I feel like you just ambushed her. Can you just imagine that? Like it's like a hobgoblin, like walking into the room and going, "Goblin!" What would you do? Especially if they looked like Garrison.
I'd probably just
He's a little
cry
freaked
if
out.
I was a little girl.
Do you just cry if you were a little girl?
I think
Yeah,
I
she's
would,
doing
yeah.
exactly what you would do as if you were a little girl. She's crying.
Way to go, Timothy.
Garrison, please move out of the way for a moment.
Wait, where are you stealing kids? What's going on here?
We're freeing children who are locked in cages and taking them back to Barovia.
Oh, no way. That lady turned me into a frog.
And it seems like she was gonna at
We should
a
leave.
Mte.
You think children frogs taste better than adult frogs?
I don't think they were gonna turn them into frogs to do what they were gonna do.
Oh, alright. Well, we definitely shouldn't leave until we search this place. She had some cool stuff downstairs. I found some jars. One said, like, youth on it. There's a bunch of weird stuff. You guys can make any sense of this?
I wouldn't eat anything you find here.
I mean, I don't know if we should eat it, but this one says mother's milk. That can't be that bad. Oh, and Riles, this one's for you. And the third one is it says laughter on it.
Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me yet. I have no idea.
I'm assuming that at least somebody might be looking through all three of these levels of the Bone Grinder before you leave. There's
Yeah,
not
and I'll
really
leave.
much to find here. The top floor, their bedroom, had a couple of beds in it. The crates here with the children, and when you look like under the beds, you find that there's some cheap jewelry here. Still having some semi-precious stones in them, and they are all sort of mismatched, and like, none of them seem to go together. They're not like a set or anything. But there's 6 pieces here of various types of things. There's like rings, like a nice ring, a nice sort of necklace, some earrings. They're each worth about 25 gold pieces or so each. There's 6 of them, so I'll put those down as something you can collect. Do you want to take them first of all?
Yes.
Well, they do belong to Nazoth. They're in his tower.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Which hasn't been finalized yet?
Hearsay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Naz, can we take these, or you want to keep these here for investment purposes?
Go ahead and take them.
All right. Lucky enough, I've got 6 fingers on this hand.
You can wear 6 rings. When for the brief moment that Gretchen was kind of looking up into the attic, there didn't seem to be anything up there, not even anything stored. It was just sort of an empty small room for the gearbox that, if the windmill still worked, would turn the center pole to activate the grinder below. But that doesn't work. The windmill's broken, and it's just a bunch of cobwebs and dust up there. You've already searched the bedroom and found these pieces of jewelry. In the second floor, where the grinder is, where the millstone is, all it has is bits of old bones and dust. Nothing else is valuable on the second level. First level, Garrison has already kind of looked through and found some of these vials that were labeled with these, mother's milk and laughter and stuff like that. Are you leaving this
Spell
place?
materials. Be great spell materials if we cared about those kind of things.
There might be some stuff down there. Does Nazoth want to start going through all the rest of the?
But he doesn't need to because warlocks use a focus.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we're gonna leave, you should probably put a note up. Coming soon, or at least be back in an hour.
Yeah, you're right. I'll do that. Future site of Nazoth's Bar and Grill.
All right.
Maybe I'll
The
demolish
only
the
thing that you
windmill.
sort of, what you end up sort of leaving behind on the first floor is maybe There's some bags of flour and salt and ingredients for making pastries and pies. There's
Let's make a
also
circle of salt around the windmill just to piss off the hags.
there's also a crate that's full of croaking frogs. You have no idea what that is for. And there's 3 chickens
Probably
in
people.
a really tiny coop and a few laid eggs.
Does anyone have Dispel Magic?
We'd have to take a rest. A long rest.
I heard frog legs are pretty tasty if you want to have some dinner.
We really should eat anything here.
Alright, well then let's move on.
All right. You leave the old bone grinder. Maybe you leave a sign, coming soon. Nazoth's, whatever, bakery.
Bar and grill.
Nazoth's Bar and Grill. All right, I'll change the name of this place. Just a second. Children come with you as well.
I do like stone wood. What is it? Stone fired pizzas.
All righty.
The extension. It's going to be a haunted house aesthetic with a creepy windmill.
In 1 second here, I want to put a name up.
You could just demolish it and start afresh.
And
building
ruin this
that
historical building? What are you, mad?
Exactly. You don't want to do that.
it's not
I didn't take
historical
you
for
for
the
one
right
of those.
reasons.
And let's give it.
I mean, really terrible things have obviously happened here.
Says the person that wants to level it and make new development. What's next, Gretchen? You want to put a parking lot over here? Take out this forest?
I'm not a gentrifier.
You leave this place. Does Nazoth really leave like a circle of salt around it?
No,
for
I
fun?
don't even know if that would do anything to hags, to be honest.
Okay.
I think we
I just-
should. I don't know. Kind of sounds like a good idea.
I do leave a note, future
Is-
side of.
Is there a check to know if that would work?
Yeah.
Would that be a ability
Sure.
check?
Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana.
Morale's getting on this too. Unless I was
Sure.
already good.
Nice.
You are fairly certain that this will do absolutely nothing.
Let's do it anyways.
You waste a big bag of salt walking around this place and just dumping it on the ground. You know what?
Maybe
I'll change my
Raoul's
mind.
because
it will do
he's
something.
small.
It'll piss them off when they come back and have no salt for their pies.
Any
For the next 2 years, nothing will grow on the property.
any vampiric snails or other sort of snail-based creature will have a really hard time getting into his defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get all desiccated.
If the frogs get loose and run through this, they're going to be unhappy too.
But I insist
Yeah.
the circle be phallic shaped.
Phallic shaped? I don't know how you can do that, but okay.
It's an outline.
What
We can do
next? You guys have desecrated the place with salt, and you look around, and there's nobody about. It's just dead quiet. One weeping girl child, and the boy kind of standing there looking kind of up at, probably just staring at Jareth, who was the one that kind of let him down. Weird, slow blink.
Hey, Myrtle, was it?
That's her name. She says, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, could you be more like him and shut up?
Whoa, come on.
That's not necessary.
I'm trying to
Wisdom
think
saving
that,
throw.
that is so obnoxious.
She starts crying louder.
God,
Can't
no.
help it. She just turns into that blubbering thing where they're just trying not to cry, and they're just like,
Giggles, get over here.
Damn it. Figure it out, child.
Giggles, comfort, Myrtle.
Naz, I'm with you. I can't take this.
Rouse does a silly dance.
give me a persuasion check.
Oh,
Maybe you can calm her
persuasion.
down. Or performance. That'll work too.
Oh, okay, good.
We'll go with the performance so that you,
Okay.
you don't stick the landing quite so well with your little dance. But it's funny enough to get her to kind of giggle just for a brief second. There's still like, muddy tears like all over her face. And she looks like, she does not look great.
Oh, press
Her group is not very reassuring. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys back out to the map of Barovia. Nothing left here at this point, unless. So you're right here, Bone Grinder. Try to focus ping you. The only other thing that you can really see from where you are is that there is kind of down towards the trees on the far side of the Bone Grinder, like over here down the hill a little bit. There seems to be right at the edge of the woods, like a circle of stones that looks like they've been placed for maybe some sort of religious or ritual-like purpose.
Well, you guys know what we do. We defile things, so we should definitely go over there.
We really shouldn't defile anything else. Or desecrate anything else.
Yeah.
Maz, this is kind of an annex of your
What
property.
about pilfer or plunder?
Let's just head to Barovia.
After checking out these rocks. You got it. All right, come on.
All right, gonna head down to the
Guys
stones.
don't want to take a long rest. We got our kind of pummeled a little bit.
Maybe these stones are crafted like beds. We'll never know.
Or at the
until we
very
get
least,
there.
a short rest.
Let's see. I've got a few healing spells left, or we could take a short rest.
We'll live forever. Let's go check out the stones.
Take to get
All right.
there.
Sounds as if someone is going to check out the stones. At least one person. Is anybody going with? First of all, is Garrison going to check out the stones? And second, is anybody going with them?
Yeah, Rob, you mentioned the stones. I'm going to go look at the stones.
I'll
Who's
go
going
with
with?
Garrison because I'm still following him.
Okay.
I'll go with them. This is a bad
Same.
idea.
I don't know if you guys remember our session 0, but he's like the reason I'm on this because I had a vision of him.
Mhm.
Yeah, same.
Garrison walks off towards these stones. Nazov follows, Gretchen as well. When you get down to them, they're maybe a couple hundred yards away. And when you reach them, there are these squat sort of like megaliths, and they remind you a little bit of Yester Hill. Because that place had like its own sort of like, it didn't really have like standing stones so much, but like the whole top of the hill was set up with like surrounded by these stones. Give me a religion check, you guys.
Alrighty then.
Oh, I
Oh,
got
sure,
it.
that one I roll high on.
Gretchen, you realize that there is some sort of religious significance to these stones that is very old. You can tell that they haven't been visited in a long time. You guys just kind of looking around. There's no like footprints in the grass around here, and they're a little bit overgrown. But you don't know the name of the god that they might be dedicated to, but you suspect that it's a nature god of some kind. You see some of this like the way the stones are laid out. You've seen standing stones in other places, and almost always they are connected to either like druid faiths or nature gods. The only god that you have heard, like the name of it, that anybody even talks about here, is Lathander. And these stones, have nothing to do with them.
And no way of knowing the alignment of this nature god.
You would suspect neutral.
Huh. Yeah. I don't think we should mess with this. This is not evil.
You have heard of another set of stones that you have not gone to yet. They're at the ruins of Berez. When you guys were talking about going there, the Mardikovs, the Wizard of Wines, had said that they had a friend that lived outside of the ruins of Berez, and that if you wanted to like find them and see if they could help you, there is a circle of standing stones across the Luna River, across from the ruins of Berez, that you might be able to find them in. So now, sort of 3 mentions of like standing stones. Yester Hill, you suspect that there might have been stones there at some point, but that something changed, and they built up something else. And like the tree that was there, the Gulthias tree, like something had twisted the religion of the Druids of Yester Hill at some point.
So this might be remnants of that original religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there doesn't seem to be anything else to do here. There are a couple of ravens kind of nearby on the stones that are watching you. That occasionally kind of caw, but they don't seem to be super like aggressive, nor are they being kind of freaking out like that one that kind of yelled at Jareth up at the Bone Grinder itself.
Okay. Alright.
Anything you guys want to do with the stones other than just learn a little bit of lore? Or do
And
you guys
I'll
head out?
pass this on to Garrison and Azoth.
All right.
Lord.
Lord Dump.
We don't know which
Alright.
god. It's just a nature god. And there's
Right.
just trying
There's no
You've
name
seen
on
one
it.
god, you've seen them all.
There are a few different nature gods that Gretchen knows of, but you haven't heard of any of them here, and there's nothing on these stones that indicate like a particular god.
Gotcha. No unicorns or anything like that.
No symbols or sigils at all. Just the stones
Okay.
themselves.
All right. Well, I think we've learned
I've
everything
got
we
an
can from
idea.
this. Oh,
Wait. Guys, can I borrow some of your water skins?
sh- for what?
For holy purposes.
I'm doing this provisionally. If I need to take it back, I will.
You got it. Alright, so he grabs his and he grabs Gretchen's water skin and he puts them down on one of the stones. And he's going to cast ceremony on it.
Nice.
You're
I
gonna
don't.
get married?
Someone
There's
is.
other
I'm gonna use it to bless water, and
Alright.
he's gonna try to do
Azoth
like
takes a few steps back.
does like a kind of
It's just holy
takes-
water.
yeah, makes some holy water and kind of says a
Well,
prayer.
that and you mentioned married.
Ceremony takes what, like an hour or something like that?
Duration instantaneous. Casting time takes an hour. But everyone was saying they wanted a short rest anyway, so I figured this would be a decent time to just kind of spend the time doing this.
All right.
And he's gonna eventually make some holy water and use that to kind of wash some of the stones that are in the circle as everyone's just kind of hanging out at camp and whatnot, just to see if like we can get any kind of like guidance or more from showing some reverence to this place.
You will need some powdered silver to do this. Do you have silver? Like silver coins or anything that you can powder?
I mean, we definitely have money.
Check your pockets. It's kind of important.
25
25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver is
I
required.
have 118 gold. I don't track silver.
Does someone need silver? I shall.
Oh, I knew it. The prince would have silver. Hey, can you crush that up like you do with that other powder that you use? And I need it for a spell quick.
How much do you need?
I don't. Whatever Rob was
25
saying.
gold's worth?
25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver.
That's a lot of silver.
It's like 250 silver pieces.
Here, I'll trade you. Here's 25 gold.
I've only
You
got.
guys have picked up. I think you have picked up some treasure along the way, and
I
even
have
though we kind of mostly
65
converted to
silver.
gold, I
the
think you,
prince happens to
amongst
have
all of
it,
you,
so
you
I
might
can
be able
change
to
for
have.
him.
You know what? And
Fine.
even some of like the jewelry that you picked up is probably silver as well, which would work.
Frick, smash it on this rock. I need it to be powder.
Somebody mark off just 25 gold pieces, or you know, we'll remove. If you're tracking the 6 pieces of jewelry, remove one of those. That'll make it even.
5. All right, cool.
25 gold pieces worth of silver.
So I spend my hour doing that. If anybody wants to do a short rest or anything else around here.
All right. So everybody else taking a short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Spending an hour up here, old bone grinder. Everybody roll a d20.
Is this before the short rest?
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna write a program to roll ones one day.
Ooh.
Alrighty. The hour passes peacefully. Nothing bothers you. The ceremony is completed. You've made some holy water, and then you're going to pour it on the stones.
Yeah, he's gonna use it to like wash the stones and try to maybe gain some I don't know, religious insight or at least favor with like some of these old gods, just to try to do something to. There's things in this land that are older than the problem that we're dealing with, so he's trying to like gain favor with that.
As you wash these stones with the holy water that you've created, you do get a strange sort of feeling here, a sense of like peace, and in some of that seems to work itself not so much about, like, you don't really seem to gain insight about the land, but it gives you a little bit of insight maybe about yourself. And you have these weird sort of your memories go back to some of these times that you've been here in Barovia and been obsessed with your revenge against that evil bard and Adrian, and you're reminded of your attack on the paladin of Argynvostold, how you coveted his weapon. And you feel like, I don't know, it's almost as if like you're given a little bit of a warning. This is like, as Gretchen had told you, this is sort of a site of balance. It's not necessarily about good, it's not necessarily about evil. It's not telling you that what you did is maybe right or wrong, but it is sort of highlighting some things that you have done. And then it probably also, you have these memories of, like, you know, saving that the child in Lake Zarovich, and some of the other good things that you've kind of done in this place as well, you know, helping out the Mardikovs. It almost seems like you're being weighed.
Interesting. So yeah, I think as you know, he's doing this, he's kind of feeling that, and on his own, like weighing his own choices. You know, kind of seeing the one side of this aggression and this power lust, but then seeing that, like, without all that, we're still doing positive things. But to him, can he do more positive things without some of the power that he needs? So I think he's kind of riding a wave through it. But it's interesting that, like, he's having these feelings of, I guess, like moral guilt for some things, or like questioning his decision making when it, because at the time he just goes off like a switch in his.
Yeah, and like, again, this, you don't feel like you're, like, it's trying to guide you to any particular thing. It just seems like it is, I don't know, maybe causing you to look inward, find your own balance.
Does that come across anyone else that's hanging out in the circle now that it's like?
No, just you. You're the only one that kind of did this ritual, I think, so only you.
I think he will apologize then to the young kids for being so gruff.
Did we get our short rest off?
You do. Short rest completed. The children are back up at the bone grinders, so I'm assuming once you're done with this, you climb the hill back up to where your friends are resting. And what do you say to them? Like, the boy is just kind of sitting there on a stone, kind of just like staring off at the hills. And the girl is maybe kind of shadowing Jarrus still, who's the only one that's kind of tried to be, like, protective of them so far.
So Garrison kind of kneels down in front of both of them, and he's like, I'm sorry for being so rough with you earlier. I find myself quick to do things that aren't always positive. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're not. These aren't my hands. But don't worry about that. We're going to get you back to your house, and we're going to figure out what's going on. Luckily for you, we're going that way anyway. Do you know Freak's real name?
I think that is his name.
It's Freak with 2 E's. So I think it is his real name. But your speech there sounded like a Bidenism for a second. You were just like going off. These hands are my hands, but that's irrelevant here.
Yeah. I was just thinking, if I was that kid, I'd be like, no, back up. You can't just go past that part. What'd you say?
She does not remark upon your hands, because that probably just goes right over her head. I'm trying to imagine, like, you talking to somebody that has no idea, like, what you're talking about, and they're gonna be like, not my hands, really? Okay, maybe that's a metaphor or something that I don't get because I'm a child. But she does say, are you really a goblin? I thought goblins were short and green.
No, I'm Jeremy Crawford's favorite. I'm a hobgoblin.
Jeremy Crawford? Oh, no one speaks his name here in Barovia.
He's even more powerful than some say.
They say
Count Strahd is.
They say that all the
Jesus
bad
Christ.
plot points in Barovia were created by him.
Stop! He's gonna know we're speaking of him. Stop!
Do not speak his name.
I heard tell he's going to kill Mistra again, so we have to buy more books.
I heard he's going to make it a lot harder for paladins to fight Strahd.
Oh, so
All right,
weird.
well, luckily for us, there's enough of a plot for us to have to take you to your home. So he did his job that far. Or Robston doing some third party.
Had anything to do with it?
I didn't think so either. And he winks at her. Listen, if you need anything, just stick next to Gretchen's dog Giggles over there. They'll keep you safe.
Okay. She seems a little bit more comforted now that you're not going to eat her.
Since you're a local here, you think you could lead the way?
She points down the road. It's that way. There should be a sign. And she just points off to sort of the southwest. Southeast, sorry, southeast. Southwest is goes to nowhere.
But yeah, there's a road, right?
There's a road. The red road right here.
Take the road.
The whole way.
The old Swalage.
Just follow the road. Just follow the road, stupid. But she will lead you.
Gee,
Follow
great.
the red brick road.
We need a small, quiet scout to go about a quarter mile ahead, and that's going to be you.
A quarter mile ahead. Huh?
Don't worry, I'm with you.
That might be moving a little too
She's like,
fast.
okay. She gets
So
up
good.
and starts kind of walking down the road, kind of by herself.
No.
I follow closely.
Looking back over her shoulder.
Yeah, the druid will
Yell
follow
if
closely.
you need help. We'll try to get there as soon as possible.
Okay, so assholes. Oh boy.
Come along,
Assholes of
Myrtle.
Barovia. That should be the new name for
Yeah,
this this campaign.
I
All
Are there
right.
children in my role-playing game?
I'm trying.
I need to remove all children from my games from now on. I'm getting
Man.
traumatized myself. There should just be a warning, just like one of the warnings. You know, they talk about blood, in horror and kidnapping and stuff like that. There should just be one warning that just says children in this game, and just leave it blank.
Children gaslit.
Yeah.
You could do the Skyrim approach where they're just invincible.
Huh?
You know, in
Can't kill
Sky-
kids.
Oh, the kids are
Skyrim.
invincible in Skyrim.
Yeah.
I've never played it. Huh.
Perfect. I knew you'd be a great scout. You're invincible.
All right, you guys head out from the windmill. You take the road. You get down again to the to that crossroads here, and you find again that there's that body hanging from the one sign that kind of points off in the direction of the village of Barovia. Body just kind of swings there slowly in a little bit of a light breeze as you pass by it. The road twists, kind of goes through a little bit of a forested area, and when you come out the far side, you find yourselves approaching a high wall that looms ahead of you in the fog, and that there's huge iron gates that hang from the stonework. There are two statues that kind of flank the door as well, and the door itself is 50 feet tall, 50, 60 feet tall. Statues are close to 100 feet tall, or they would be if they had heads. The heads seem to have been cleaved from these statues and now lie among the weeds at their feet. There's an image from the adventure of kind of what these gates look like. The doors are open, and the road passes beyond them.
Wow.
It's awesome. Can we take a moment to take this in? Does it have any kind of iconography on the knights? Is there anything that speaks to who built this wall or whatever?
Nothing that tells you there's there's not really any iconography on them. Just these two massive statues, they wear armor, and they've got these swords in hands. It looks as if they were meant to sort of block off the valley ahead. And you know that when you pass through these, you'll be heading into a part of the land where Castle Ravenloft is and where the village of Barovia is. I'm sure, Castle Ravenloft is where apparently Strahd holds court. And then the village of Barovia is can be seen at the foot of the mountains upon which the top, Castle Ravenloft, kind of stands and looks down at the village. But the location of this gate and this wall, in a way, if somebody closed these doors, these massive doors, it would make it very hard for an army to pass through and into the last valley where Castle Ravenloft is. Like there don't seem to be like there are hills kind of off to one side and forests, and same thing to the other. And you know from your map that there's like a river over there that would make it even harder for someone to kind of get through. This is just it's like a physical barrier, and it's almost a testament to the power that Strahd had as a conqueror at one point, that he must have had this built. Either that, or whoever built it before couldn't withstand him. There's not enough in the wall to tell you what that story is. You don't know if he built it and something happened to cleave the heads from these, or maybe his armies came in and rolled through this place, left it standing, but defaced the statues of whoever ruled this place before. Because you know that Strahd has not been here forever. He rolled into this valley from somewhere else and claimed it.
That's what I was trying to figure out, like who, or if like the statue heads had like distinctive features that would have represented him or the people, you know what I mean? But it's fine that they don't. It's just a question.
Yeah, there's not enough on these for you to tell.
Yeah.
There's no heraldry on the armors or on the wall itself.
Can we make a perception check or anything for hiding within the gates to jump out at us or anything like in this valley? Guys, I don't like the way this looks. This is an easy choke point, military tactics wise. I could be in for something here. I use my keen eyes.
You see nothing with your keen eyes. All of you are kind of looking ahead. You're worried that there might be an ambush waiting for you here at these gates. But there doesn't seem to be. At least not one that you can perceive.
Let's pass through the gates.
I'm also on the lookout for shadows, like, in a reasonable way.
Mm-hmm. I assume that you guys are always kind of on the lookout for trouble. Nothing seems to be following you, at least at the moment. And nothing seems to be waiting ahead for you at the gates. They're just large, imposing, and a bit intimidating.
No Tuscan raiders popping out of the crevices.
Nope, nobody jumps up and starts just shooting you with crossbow bolts or anything like that.
So let's go through the gate and head, south, right, to town?
Yep. So you approach the gate, even though there's nothing there to be seen at first, the gates are themselves kind of slightly cracked open, but as you get closer, within about maybe 30 feet or so, you hear a grinding, like an and the gates open up even more, as if kind of aware that you have arrived.
Oh.
Beyond the gates, you can see the road continue. Still, nothing jumps out. No one seems to be operating these gates. It's as if they moved on their own.
Crazy. He knows all. He is the land. And Garrison walks south.
You pass through the gates, massive wall above you. Maybe a few hundred yards beyond it, the road splits. According to your map, the left-hand side will ascend this mountain up to Castle Ravenloft. But if you go to the right, you'll come to a bridge and cross or falls and eventually twist around through the forests, cross another bridge and come back to the village of Barovia. Left or right? Which way do you go?
Barovia.
Oh, down?
Right.
South?
Gotta take these kids home. Yeah.
Yeah. You turn right. You come to a bridge, not too long after that. Let's get another D20 from everybody.
I hope there's a troll under this bridge. Oh, you did it, Bimothy. I'm so proud.
I really tried.
I tried really hard. One moment. What the heck is that?
That's probably not a good sign.
Alrighty. As you guys make it to the bridge, you see that there is a lone figure mounted on a horse standing on the center of this bridge,
Oh, is it the guy
just
again?
barely revealed in the mists. What was that?
What is it? One of those knights again?
Don't know. Can barely make them out. Kind of just see them at the edge of the mist. They're silhouetted. There is a humanoid figure seated on a horse.
What
center of
was
the
his
bridge.
name? The one that we met earlier before the wolves?
The Black Knight.
Oh, you're talking about. Sorry, one second.
Revenant,
None
the-
shall pass.
You're talking about Sir Godfrey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I shout off. Is that you, Sir Godfrey?
There's no answer.
We approach. Hey, equestrian man, he asked you a question.
Eyes of the Grave.
Eyes of the Grave. How far? What's the range on that?
60 feet.
We're that
60
close.
feet. So you move up. You want to get within 60 feet of this thing, right?
Oh, jeez.
You don't. I'll tell you. As you get closer to this, before you even get to within 60 feet, you don't even need to use your Eyes of the Grave. This figure is on a horse that is long dead. The skin sloughing off of it. Bits of chain kind of dangling from a halter that's broken. The figure sitting atop it has a skull for a head, and sort of a helm over it, and rotting sort of chainmail that's dripping. kind of
God, it's
falling off.
Radon!
It is definitely undead. You don't even need to use your ability, but you can if you want to make sure that this is some sort of illusion or something.
Yeah. Let's keep it going. So is there an actual being there?
There is two. Both the horse and the guy that rode in on it are both undead.
Right.
They just stand there though, on the center of this bridge. He's kind of looking north towards you guys.
Wow.
Maybe not exactly north towards you. Like you see him kind of glancing more a little bit to like the northwest. And you look back like over your shoulder and you can see kind of rising above the fog just in the distance is the top of the gate tower behind you. It's like he's looking at those.
Riles, tell him a joke. Maybe he'll invite us in.
Riles
Was
is
that
running.
Riles?
You look back and all you see is
Stage
Riles
fright.
back in the distance, his feet patting on the ground, getting into the fog.
How deep
Sorry,
is the...
Lucky, go ahead.
No, my audio is like cutting out. I kind of wasn't able to catch most of that. Sorry.
Did you catch the description of an undead warhorse with some sort of a skeletal soldier sitting astride it on top of a bridge ahead of you?
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then Garrison had said, "Why don't you tell it a joke?" I think, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll let us in. Come on.
I'm blanking on a joke, so I'm just going to. He's just dancing.
That's infectious.
Riles
Any reaction?
just starts dancing. Absolutely
Yeah.
none. No reaction
Absolutely
at all.
nothing reaction. Okay,
Almost as if it didn't even notice you.
Okay. Probably did notice me. Okay.
Timothy, go up and poke it.
Maybe.
No! Why would I do that?
It'll make me laugh.
It'll make me cry.
We do need to pass it. I'm gonna get 30 feet closer.
The bridge is
Dressed
wide
again.
enough that you could try to go around it. The bridge is wide enough for a large carriage to come across, and this is just a single figure on a horse.
I'm gonna get
How
within
far
30
away is
feet.
he?
He's about, you guys are right at the edge of Gretchen's range, which is 60 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna stay there.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
go-
and Garrison?
Garrison's gonna go 30 feet in. Say, hey.
Still
Hey.
ignores you. You move
Damn
in
it.
closer. It
Yeah,
ignores
another 15 feet.
you. Still ignores you. Kind
how
of
deep
staring
is
off
the
into
water?
the mist to the north. the water here under the bridge is, let's see. This is sort of a canyon. So like crossing the water here is not something you can just kind of easily climb down and then, cross or ford. There's a reason that a bridge was put here. Off to the west, you can see like the Sur Falls, which is on your map. It is a pretty large waterfall. It spills out into this pool. It kind of billows forth clouds of cold mist. This bridge is made of stone. It spans a canyon about... the canyon below you is actually a few hundred feet below you. Like, it's a deep canyon. There's a reason, like I said, why this bridge was here.
So we can't just dip down and under.
No, not easily.
Okay.
I would like to get within 5 feet of it and wave my arms in front of its skeletal face.
Garrison? I don't know if
The
it's
other features of this
yeah.
bridge, just in case you wanted to know, that on both sides of the bridge, there's these pillars that are formed to look like gargoyles, and there's a bunch of black moss, like all over all of them, and the bridge itself. When you move closer, nothing changes. The guy on the horse doesn't move. He doesn't seem to recognize you. You reach your hand up. You're not quite tall enough to reach, like, in front of his face. But he doesn't even seem to notice you, like, right next to him. And the horse, maybe the head kind of turns your direction a little bit, but there's no eyes in its eye sockets. It just moves a little bit as if it realizes there's somebody next to it.
Weird. All right, guys, I think it's safe. You can just pass. I'll stand here just in case anything happens, but one at a time, just pass it.
I take the
Send the kids first, just in case he attacks.
I take the kids in both hands and skirt along the western side of the bridge.
Could you use them as shields? Good.
Did you take both?
Yes, one in each hand.
Yeah, it'll protect his body. It's good. He's got a lot of vital organs.
But if something happens in our first attempt through it with both children, maybe someone should go by themselves first?
No, maybe Jareth will survive because the children blocked it. It's a smart tactic. Go ahead, kids.
Does somebody else want to go first to test it? Gretchen?
Sure. I'll cross the bridge.
All right. You are maybe the closest. Nothing happens when you pass this thing. It seems to ignore you.
There's no difference between an African and a European swallow, right?
No. Myrtle kind of whimpers again as like you're led up to this thing and past it. She's like shielding her face and staying on the other side of Jareth, but Freak walks unafraid, like right by it, and kind of looks up at it with his big eyes, and says and speaks a word for the first time since you've encountered him. Horsey, he says as he kind of walks by and almost kind of reaches for the skeletal horse. Jareth, you want to stop that?
Yes. I slowly put my hand on his and push it down, like, later.
All right. You redirect him away from this thing, and you cross the bridge without incident.
Good job, Freak. That's a horsey.
Horsey.
Mostly.
Seems like it wants to go back to the horsey, but Myrtle is quickly moving to the side of the bridge. And Jareth, for a moment, you're like a parent that's got two kids interested in two different things. You're kind of being pulled in two different directions, but you're strong enough to kind of redirect them.
When did I become
Eventually,
Papa
the rest.
Jareth?
Well, yeah, Papa Jareth. Some of you are on the other side of the bridge now. Does everybody continue past this thing?
Yeah, very hesitantly.
Yeah.
You're right at
Rouse
the edge
goes-
of the bridge there, Bimothy. Does Bimothy have any sort of fear of heights? What's he more afraid of, heights or horses? Undead horses.
Well, not so much horses, but undead horses, yeah. I mean, he's a little afraid of everything, but I think his current focus is on the undead horse.
All right. You pass it. There's no trouble with it. You look over maybe the edge of the bridge and chasm below. Again, it's far enough that anybody that fell off this bridge would likely die. But all of you make it past this thing without it changing its interest. The rider still stares off to the north. The undead horse notices people a little bit more, maybe shuffles a foot or a hoof every once in a while, but it does not leave the bridge or change its or move at all or do anything threatening. Eventually, you all find yourself on the far side of the bridge. This figure, this mounted knight or whatever it was, behind you.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does the south side of Tyser Falls here, is there a way to get to the bottom pool?
Yeah, you could hike down there, but it's probably going to take a little while.
I don't know if it's true, but I've always heard there might be cool stuff bottom behind waterfalls.
You want to take these kids and for a little bit of a nature hike? See if there's anything creepy behind some random
They might
falls?
be great at spelunking. There could be a small cave that only they could get in.
We have to protect these children, Garrus, and not lead them into almost certain danger.
They'll be fortified by rock walls. What do you mean? I'm just saying, what if pirates or something hid their treasure down there? What if there's something great behind the waterfall?
Well, we can come back.
Can we?
Presumably.
All right. Just saying. Somebody else now takes it.
Well, we'll just have to take that risk.
Fine.
You're on the far side of the bridge here. There is something else that might draw your attention if you're looking around. There is a path that leads off to the south and seems to descend towards into the chasm, but only in this direction, not towards the falls to the northwest. The road does continue off to the southwest, but again, there's this little path that goes down. It seems like it twists down towards the water below, towards the river. And you can see about a mile away or so that there seems to be some sort of a little encampment or something that's over near Sir Pool. There's a little bit of kind of little tendrils of smoke from fires over there, and you can see what appear to be wagons, just barely discernible through the fog.
Maybe more Vistani?
Could be a shortcut.
Your map indicates that it probably is a shortcut if you take the path down.
Come on, Gretch. We gotta get these kids home.
To the shortcuts.
Lead the way.
Taking a shortcut.
Taking a shortcut. You guys head off the path. You descend down towards the river. There's lots of mist down here. You kind of lose sight of the camp for a little while you're kind of traversing
Is it this dotted road we're following?
the little dotted road. The camp.
Do the kids know what this encampment is?
The boy does not say anything. He just stares at you with big, wide eyes. But Myrtle says, "That's the Vistani. They've been a camp there for a long time."
Oh, we know those guys.
Probably a different group.
You make your way along this path for another, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes or so before you come within sight of the camp itself. And you realize that you know these Vistani. The wagons are pulled up in sort of a circle around the central campfire. There's a couple smaller ones as well. Horses that are up near the river, left to sort of drink and eat at will. And one colorful wagon, kind of at the end, that you recognize as Madame Eva's.
Are these my dancing buddies?
Yes. It seems to be the same group that you guys encountered when you first arrived in Barovia, a week and a half ago, whatever it was. And as you come within sight, there's a few of them that are at the edge of the camp that are, maybe going about chores and whatnot. A couple notice your group arriving, and one raises his hand and welcomes you. Welcome! I remember you folk. Yes, come in. Welcome to the camp.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you again. Check out these bad boys.
You show them
He
your
was
hands.
handless last time.
You show your hands, and they're like, "Ooh, thou shalt have been healed." It seems.
All right.
That means you can give a proper hug now. They kind of come in and give you everybody that comes in. They treat you as if your family. It's very, very weird. These people are so open to you, and they're they had kind of made friends with some of you the first time around, even though they're a bit creepy at first. But they recognize you, they welcome you into the camp, and one of them says, Madame Viva thought that you might be coming around pretty soon.
Is she around? I can't wait
Of
to talk.
course, she never leaves the camp. In fact, this is where we mostly spend our time. Down here by Sir Pool. It's much cleaner by here than it is up near Lake Baratok.
Have you ever gone beneath the waterfall?
At Sir Falls?
Yeah, is there a cave there? Full of treasure?
No. Why?
I don't know.
Did you find one?
I'm asking you. Maybe have you found one?
No, not that I've been up there before. We've all taken the hike up to Sir Falls, but no, nothing there really. I mean, if you fell off the falls, you'd be dead. So I'm sure there might be some bones at the bottom, but no secret caves or lairs that we're aware of.
So no reason to go back there?
Nope, none at all.
All right.
I don't think he thought of this yet. I think he's gonna go there right now, Grinch.
No, you aren't the first people to have asked about those falls.
Really? Who else asked?
Oh, yes. Oh, there have been other adventuring types that have come through the valley before. Many of them fixated on Sir Falls, just like you are, actually. And we've told them again, there's nothing over there. And they go, and, most of them come back having found absolutely nothing. And every once in a while, one falls off the falls and dies.
That's exactly what someone would say if there was something behind the falls.
They've said that before, too. I feel like I've heard that exact
These are our
phrase.
friends. They wouldn't lie to us.
This is true. So you said...
Telling you, my friends, there are much safer places to go than Sir Falls. Although the falls themselves are beautiful. If you wish to go and see them, of course, the view is fantastic.
I want to plunder its hidden caves.
It doesn't have any.
Yet. We have small children
Yet?
that are born for spelunking.
Pretty sure that those children are not meant for that. Where did you find them? Picking up orphans now.
Up the road.
What are you doing with these children?
Returning.
Return them home.
Okay, good. He was a little suspicious there for a moment. But he seems to think that you're okay now, that you say you're taking them home.
Yeah, turns out hanging out with kids isn't really...
Come in. Join the fire. Join us at the fire. Tell us what you've been up to. And of course, if you wish to speak to Madame Eva, she awaits.
Oh, yeah, can we do that?
Of course. Like I said, you have an open invitation, and she seems to know when certain individuals are near. She told us to keep an eye out for you. And here you are, just as she said.
You knew we were coming?
Oh.
Madame Eva is a seer. She knows many things.
Yeah, she's gonna teach Jareth how to do the cards, but I gotta ask her. Gotta ask her an important question.
What? Well, is it a question that I need to hear, or is it for her ears only?
I mean, you can be there, I don't care, but you're not gonna have the answers, so...
Right, I am not a seer, so if it's a question about the future or the past, well, perhaps the past I might be able to help you with. We know stories about everything. But if it's the future you seek, or divinations, then yes, Madame Eva is the one you should speak to. He kind of glances through your group towards the back where Esmeralda has been sort of lurking a bit. And you see his gaze kind of frown and turn. And he says, what is she doing with you? And Esmeralda says, she is traveling with them. Thank you very much.
She's
Don't
amazing.
worry, I'm not going to cause you any trouble.
She's quite impressive. You guys should become friends. I know you don't always agree, but she's great.
Oh, we know her.
Alright, well, you guys should like each other more because she's cool and you're cool.
She is Vistani, so she gets the benefit of the doubt. But her people, they are not here, not in Barovia. Left some time ago, never returned.
Lucky them.
Some think that she has become, well, perhaps not Vistani. But it is not for me to say.
That's
You
right,
can't
you
expect
find
her,
out
though.
yourself.
Madame Eva didn't mention that you were coming. he says, kind of looking at her. And Esmeralda says, Madame Eva does not know everything. The guy turns away from her. His smile returns instantly when he sees to the rest of you. And he's like, well, come in, eat, drink, be merry, tell your stories, dance with us, sing, enjoy yourselves. It is kind of getting later in the day. I think by this time, it's been a few hours since you guys... well, you spent an hour at the bone grinder, and then it is about... How long is it to get here? 5 miles? Yeah, it's probably been like another... two hours or so since you guys left the bone grinder, and you kind of hesitated a little bit at the bridge. So it is starting to get a little bit dark. This guy tells you, yeah, if you pass through, of course, you might be able to make it to the village of Barovia if that's where you're heading. But it is getting a bit late in the day, and you might not make it.
They probably won't let us in if it's dark.
Oh, the village? Oh, they don't have walls.
Oh, well, never mind. Let's go.
No one guards the village of Barovia. At least, no man does.
What does that mean?
Obviously, their guards are all female.
He glances up and off to kind of behind him because he's talking to you in like the camp, the study camp is behind him. But across the pool and up this mountain, you see almost silhouetted in the moonlight is a castle, Castle Ravenloft. This is kind of like the first time you've gotten a really, well, you've heard of it, and you probably saw it a little bit when you came through the gate, but it's almost more imposing now that it stands like behind this guy. And the day is getting a little bit late.
Yeah. What do you know about the undead horseman on the bridge?
Which
it was
one?
Quite disconcerting.
Which bridge, and which horseman?
The Tizer Falls Bridge.
How many bridges with undead
There's more
horsemen
than
are
one
we?
possessed
What?
horseman. What?
Well, there are riders that still traverse the old Svalich Road. You're saying that there's one on the bridge here? Points up towards Sir Falls.
Yeah, he
Seemed
wasn't
quite-
really. Oh, go ahead, Bridge.
I was just gonna say he seemed quite stationary.
There are still those seeking to escape the valley here, but even in death, there is no way out for them. He is not the only one that you will see.
Sad.
Yes. Sad figures locked in death. Nowhere to go.
Somebody should put a sign up that says like "not dangerous." This way, you spent like a whole extra half an hour just being worried about that guy.
Well, there are gates, you know.
Yeah, that was open too.
No, not that one. There's another gate off to the east of Barovia. If you come to that gate, do not try to pass it. The mists lie beyond, and no one traverses the mists without Strahd's permission.
Well, we'll get there at some point. For now, we got to return these kids. But I really want to just ask Ava one question. Just one question.
Of course. He gestures over to, I think she's in a tent. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, actually, she has a tent. Like, there is a wagon for her, but she sets up kind of a larger tent next to the wagon. He gestures you across the camp. Feel free. You guys all head over to Madame Eva's tent?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. You approach the tent. There's a couple guys kind of sitting nearby. They look up, kind of nod at you with smiles. One even stands up to hold the flap of the tent open for you, and he calls kind of inside. We have your friends have arrived, Madame Eva. Our touring visitors. And as you step into the tent, Madame Eva sits in there with a little crystal ball in front of her. Her eyes kind of still like, sort of whitish. She can see you, but you're not really sure exactly how. And once she sees the first person steps through, a big smile kind of cracks her withered lips. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friends. Sit. Come inside. Garrison, it is good to see you. I see that you are somewhat whole again.
Yeah, more than whole. Look, I got new ones, as you probably knew. I can't stay long, but this is gonna come off really rude, but how old are you?
I am the oldest in our camp.
Okay, but if you had to put a number on it.
The number? A lady never says how old she is.
Alright, well, I heard a story about knights that live in a castle, I think. It's been a while.
See it. Tell me this story. I would like to hear it.
And so he tells her the story about how a Madame Eva was met on a bridge, and he wants to know if she's the very same one.
How curious this story is. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that if that was me? This must have been hundreds of years ago. It can't possibly be but me, could it?
It definitely could.
Could it? Huh.
Yes.
That would make me hundreds of years old.
I mean, you look great for it, but it's still good.
Well, I thank you for telling me that I look young. It is quite a story that you have told me. You have visited Argynvostolt, then,
Yeah, we may or may not have created our own problems there. I often find myself making poor decisions rashly.
A lot of beings hate us now.
You have begun to meet the denizens, cursed and otherwise, of Barovia. Wait a moment. Garrison, step to the side. Gretchen, you as well.
All right.
Yes. Get out of my tent, witch! She suddenly yells. This is no place for you. Yes, you and your children, go. You know you are not allowed here.
Don't speak to Riles like that.
Seems as if she's yelling at like Nazoth and the people that are behind you. But after a second, her smile kind of returns and says, yes, good. They are gone now.
Oh, the hags.
Seems if you have made other friends that are following you. You have been to the Bone Grinder.
Oh, shit. Right.
They're following us. Of course they're following us.
Of course they are.
Yes, they should know better than to come to my tent, to come to Surpool, those fools. Yes, they will not bother us again. They will not be lurking anymore. Fear not, you are safe here.
I mean, you're just the best. So yeah, we met the Knights of Argynvostolt, and they told us that story that I told you, and I would really appreciate it if you could tell me if that was you or not.
I cannot tell you that.
Okay, well, that seems cagey, but I get it. You know more than I do. Sorry for wasting your time.
Tell
that's
me,
all
have my readings for you come true yet?
I think every single one has. But then Jared started flipping cards, and now I'm having a hard time following everything. I think he's good at it, though.
Is he now?
I have no idea.
What do you think, Jared? Do you think that you have learned things? Do you think that you can read the cards?
Not as good as you. I think I'm getting slowly better.
Such things do not come quickly.
No.
Nor do they usually come to those who are not Vistani. If you are drawing cards and you are playing with fate, be careful. He kind of looks to your group and says, what else have you done? You did not mention the Bone Grinder, but you have upset the coven, it seems. Why are they following you?
We saved some children, and Nazoth tried to take over the bone grinder with the deed, but we have to get it signed by the Burgermeister of Barovia.
Do you think that these hags will honor a document?
Maybe,
That
or
doesn't seem likely.
we'll have to be more forceful when we return.
Yeah, plus we poured salt all around their house, so that'll kill.
Why would you do that?
Spite.
It's been an interesting day.
I see. You said that you were in a hurry. I expected that you would stay the evening. But it seems as if you plan to press on. To the village? Yes.
Well, we
These
need to
kids are
return the
here.
children.
Kind of feels. Yeah, he's right. It feels wrong to be like, hey, we're only like an hour away from your house, but instead we're going to keep you overnight. That just feels messed up, you know?
True. Perhaps you should take them home. I mean, that is where they belong, yes?
I mean, I guess, but like, we didn't really get this into asking, but it doesn't seem like anyone's looking for him.
No, it doesn't. Is that not odd to you?
Yeah, I was trying to use him for spelunking, but nobody agreed with that.
Spelunking? You were going to
Yeah,
drop them into a cave?
Not drop them, they would be repelled with ropes.
We weren't gonna let him do that.
You see,
Yes.
I was giving them
That
purpose.
would explain why I did not foresee this thing. So, you must go then.
We'll
You
come
must take
back.
them to their home.
Yeah, we might. Maybe we can sleep here. Maybe we can go there and come back. It's definitely. Jareth likes to dance, and your tent seems kind of nice.
It's late in the day. Perhaps you will sleep here tonight. Perhaps not.
Well, you know all, Memoriba.
Fate is a tricky thing. It changes. There is free will. You have come here, but the future from here is unknown.
I know I would rather stay here than in the village.
You are free to stay here if you wish.
All right, well, let us.
But you
finish our
have,
baby
I
sleep.
should point out, offended a coven of hags. I can keep them from you while you stay here. You go to the village of Barovia. Not so much. They will be shadowing you until you are weak, until you sleep, and then they will strike.
This ability they have, do you believe a dispel sort of thing would help against it?
You cannot reach them. They are ethereal at the moment. All you can do is prepare yourself for them. That and their ability, should they use it upon you, they will try to enter your dreams when you sleep, and they can do this without manifesting physically. They will enter your dreams, turn them to nightmares. These nightmares can be deadly. But, as you ask, yes, there is a way to damage them in the process. Should we
How
tell
do
you
we
what
do
I think it is. I'll tell you right now. One second.
Okay.
Make sure I'm not giving the wrong info.
Sorry, I thought Esmeralda had mentioned dispel magic last game, so that's what I was thinking about.
There are. Hold on a second. Things that can harm them on the ethereal plane. There are few magics that can cross the barrier. Magics of force can do this, but you will need to see them. You will need to have a way to reveal them in that plane. You'll need a spell to see the invisible, to see the ethereal. If you wish to just protect yourselves, you will need to create a magic circle and sleep within it. Magic circles, however, don't last a whole long time.
Is Magic Circle a spell?
Magic circle
Okay.
against it's just called magic circle. It's a 3rd level spell.
What about tiny huts?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if a tiny hut would help.
What about
Let me see.
fairy circle?
Well, is that a spell?
I think it's just a ring of mushrooms.
I'm trying to remember the. I had it at like the very beginning of the campaign, and it just seemed not worth it.
Find the actual spell and send it to me because that doesn't sound familiar to me.
So I don't have Magic Circle prepared, obviously.
Oh, fairy fire.
It only lasts an hour. So I'd have to cast that. Yeah, I couldn't even cast that 8 times.
Let me see something real quick. Tiny hut might be an option too.
Yeah, because this would allow us to take short rests, but that's it.
Oh, fairy fire. You're talking about fairy fire. That doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that affects things on the ethereal plane.
That's for like invisible.
Right. That's why I was sort of thinking of it, because it says any creature in the area when the spell's cast is outlined in light.
But they're not really in the area.
But if they're in it when they go into the plane, will they still light up?
I don't know.
No, if they went ethereal, you wouldn't see them. You can't. The fairy fire doesn't cross planes.
Okay.
They are not technically invisible when they are in the ethereal plane. They are ethereal, which makes them effectively invisible, but it's not the same thing. You can't affect them unless you have like a certain spells. Like I think magic missiles can, because they kind of cross that barrier. But you would need to see them with like a see invisibility spell in order to even do that. Tiny hut might be able to keep them out. However, the problem with tiny hut is that it takes a little bit of time to cast. And you don't know where these things are. First of all, you'd have to know if they were nearby, and if they are like within the area when you cast the tiny hut, then they're in the hut with you.
So let's see. I think I was able to see them last time because of like a ridiculous roll and detect good and evil.
I think it was detect good and evil, but
Okay.
I don't think you saw them.
Okay. I just knew their presence.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only 4 spell I have, I think, is Spiritual Weapon. Does
Most of
anyone
the
have
things can
access
affect
to...
others. Like ethereal it's a very tricky thing. It's one of the reasons why these types of hags are especially dangerous.
Okay. Does anyone else have access to see invisibility?
I don't know. Does anybody have it?
No, I don't.
I'm checking.
I don't think it's on the cleric list. I'm not seeing it.
There are possible ways to prevent the hags from, like, if you are resting, these things create nightmares. So there's a chance that you'll notice that someone is having them and be able to do something about it. Then you could use like protection from evil or magic circle or something like that, and that would protect them.
Would just being in a well-lit environment help?
No.
Okay. So, if Madame Eve is going to protect us tonight, I need to
She's
prepare.
offered to, but she says you're free,
Okay.
of course, to go to the village of Barovia as well if you want to return the children. And you might be able to get back here before it's too late.
Assuming nothing holds us up in Barovia. If the children are okay with it, I say we try to stay here.
Farik seems totally fine with it. Myrtle is a little worried about the Vistani, but if you suggest to stay here for the night, and if you tell her like that she might be protected from, the ladies of the Bone Grinder, then she'll be happy to stay here.
Yeah, jeez. Because we can't just leave these children without protection. Because the hags might be after them as well.
Don't know. They're with you,
Yeah.
so if the hags come after you, then you're right there. They're right there, I should say.
I'd like to take the hags out.
You're gonna have to find some way to do it.
Is there
What's everybody else's thoughts here?
Is there a spell actually called See Invisibility?
Mhm.
That just seems so, like, broken or cheap.
Not everybody gets it.
Are there multiple levels of it like there used to be, or is it just the one spell?
I believe there's just the one spell. I mean, there's also True Seeing. See Invisibility, it's on a lot of lists. Bard, Sorcerer, Wizard, Artificer. And then Twilight Domain, Inquisition Domain, Oath of Watchers. It's not on Druid or Ranger or some of the other ones.
I don't think it's
allows
on
you to
any
see
of
invisible
ours.
creatures and objects as if they were visible, and you can see into the ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects appear slightly ghostly or translucent. It is a second level spell.
Esmeralda doesn't happen to know any spells, does she?
She is actually not in the tent with you. She's kind of out, kind of almost at the edge of their camp. You can go and ask her if you wish.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. I'll go out there and check in with her.
Alrighty then. You come in. You come outside again. She's at the edge of the camp, kind of at the edge of right near the trees. She hasn't really entered their camp and doesn't seem like she's comfortable doing so. She's out there, and maybe Giggles is nearby, who she's taking a liking to. As you approach her, she looks up and says, "Is it time to go?"
Well, we might be staying the night.
She gives a little bit of a sigh. Here.
The hags apparently have been following us. Madmiva's offered assistance for the night.
She has.
Well, maybe we just drop the kids off, right? And then come back and sleep here.
But then the kids will... I'm worried about the hags coming after them. Is that unfounded?
Do the hags want us, or do the hags want the kids? I thought they wanted us for disturbing.
Well, if we leave... I would assume they want all of us. They were going to be using the children.
True.
They weren't going to be using the children? What was that?
They were going to be. Sorry, I was
okay.
trying to not say that they were going to be, cooking them.
Okay.
I'm sure we
Esmeralda says, "Do we know if they're after you, or do they have more interest in the children? I mean, I warned you not to mess with that place. Sort of a... There are things that are not... We are straying from the mission." She seems kind of a little bit frustrated. We're not here to rescue wayward children or find orphans.
I say we head on.
wander into layers of monsters that may or may not be hidden behind a waterfall, or problems up there. And she points towards the castle.
I say we take them to Barovia, drop them off, and then to go to sleep, wait for the hags to come for us, and then kill them.
We may need to do that, Esmeralda said. Now that you've drawn their ire, we may not have any other option. You ask her if she has any ability to sort of sense invisible creatures, and Esmeralda shakes her head. And she said she does not.
All right.
Well, maybe there's a scroll of see invisibility in Barovia. Don't know unless we go.
All right.
All right, leave the camp. Try to get the kids to the village. Get them home, or it's too late.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it makes more sense. Plus, like, I don't know, in the overall of it, like, imagine not returning kids home.
Not a good look.
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be crazy. Like, we're so close.
I'm just
Ralph
reading.
just wants to get rid of the kids as soon as possible. He doesn't like kids.
Would detect magic go?
With what?
Seeing invisibility. That's what I'm reading.
No, it doesn't do the same thing. Detect magic can't sense things in the ethereal plane.
Oh, okay.
It's why see invisibility is a second level spell. Detect magic is the first. They do different things. If you had somebody who was invisible nearby, you'd be able to sense that aura. But I'm not even sure if detect magic reveals where that aura is. I mean, it might. But that's not what these hags are doing.
That's essentially what I'm reading. It can reveal the presence of magical auras, which can indicate the presence of visible creatures.
Yeah, they're not invisible, unfortunately. Not by a spell.
It's more like a side effect.
Yeah, they're just not on this plane of existence. All right, press on to the village.
To the village.
All right, everybody roll a d20 again. It's going to take you 3 miles. It's going to take you about an hour and a half or so to get there.
Hooray! Encounter. I assume. Actually, don't
Well,
know
I
what
rolled.
I'm rolling for.
I don't. Yeah, right. I'm always rooting for ones, but I don't even know if it matters.
Alrighty then. Let's figure out our time here. When was the last time you guys had rested where? I'm trying to remember, like where we started this day.
Took a short rest at the falls, but the last time we took a long rest
Was
we slept at Baratok, didn't we? And then we
yes,
came,
you went
all the
here.
way-
So
yeah,
after Argynvostel, you went back to Lake Baratok to the Wizard's Tower. You collected Esmeralda, took a long rest. So let's figure out how long it's been here. Normal speed, I think, is what is it, like 2 miles an hour walking speed? What is walking speed? 2.5 miles an hour, I think is what we were saying it was.
cruise.
Hmm?
It's a cruise. I think in Drakenheim we go half a mile an hour.
That's because you're going through ruins, which is all like you're on roads or
Yeah.
anything. All right, so you have gone about 13 miles to here. And it's about another 4 miles. So that's within the 20-mile range of a normal day's sort of walk. But you stopped the old bone grinder. And if we're going, 2 miles an hour? You've gone 14 miles, 2.5 miles an hour. What does this break down?
7 hours, a little less.
7 hours to where you are right now, right?
Yeah.
But we have to add an hour to that because, actually about 2 hours, because you spent some time at the bone grinder. You hesitated
10
a little bit here at the gates. Probably maybe about 20 minutes. Spent about maybe 15 minutes or so worried about a horse on the bridge. And the path down to Sir Pool is, although it is a bit of a shortcut, it's not really direct. You're descending a lot, so there's a little bit more time there as well. So I think we're starting at 7, 8. What are you saying? Like around 10 hours?
I'd
is what
say
it's been?
about 12 hours with like stretching some of the times that you gave to being more. So if we left at 10 a.m., it would be 10 p.m. But that was me, like I said, when you were saying 15 minutes, I made it like half hours.
Right.
You know, so maybe like
11, you may have left
12.
earlier than like 10 though. You probably left like around 8 or 8:30 or something in the morning.
We also took a 1 hour short rest, I believe.
You did. You took a 1 hour
At
short
the
rest.
grinder. Yeah.
Um,
So if we left
that
at 8
that's where we're
a.m.,
adding in. That's where we're adding in. You're at about
Yeah.
like 10 or 11 hours or so. So that puts you probably around 7 or so, 7:30 in the evening as you're leaving Sir Pool. And it is again.
We're traveling at night.
For you might be traveling at night here.
at
It's
night.
gonna be another hour. It's gonna be
Yeah.
after dark by the time you get to the village of Barovia. Alrighty, the darkness closes in on you. You mistimed your traveling by a little bit as you cross another. Well, there's a couple things that happen on the way. You head back to the main road here, and let me check something real quick. You come to a crossroads where like this path meets up with the Old Svalich Road. And there's a gallows here that creaks in the wind. There's a frayed length of rope that dances from the beam here. And a well road, and then you find the Old Svalich Road kind of passes, from left to right in front of you. There's a signpost here that indicates 3 directions. Barovia Village to the east, Pool to the northwest, is where you just came from. And then it says Ravenloft / Vallaki for southwest. Across from the gallows is a low wall kind of crumbling in places that partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog. At this point, the darkness is coming down upon you. And let me see what this number you guys rolled might be. Alrighty, this is perfect.
Now, Midlands.
The graveyard, the small graveyard that's across from the gallows here. And again, these gallows are empty. There's like a noose, kind of the remains of one hanging from the gallows here. But there is a very freshly dug grave in the graveyard across the way. You can kind of smell that fresh earth sort of feeling. And as you're kind of passing the wall, you look over the edge and you see that it's like a fresh mound of dirt. You don't need to actually do anything about this, but it is a little bit creepy. It is a thing that you can't help but notice as the darkness is closing in on you. You keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Next place you come to is another bridge that crosses the Ivlis River here. This river has a different name than the other ones you guys have been to. Let me add that into the map. Ivlis River. The river here flows beneath the bridge. At this point, the terrain is dropped down low enough so that the water here is maybe only about 20, 30 feet or so below the bridge itself. And it's very clean and clear as it comes from Sir Pool to the west and then travels off to the east, kind of the southeast. And you can see a little bit further to the southeast that it begins to sort of flow out into a floodplain, that it becomes marshy and boggy. But the river, the bridge takes you across here, and there is nothing else to bother you, except for in the distance you see now the lights of a village. up ahead, the village of Barovia, in the shadow of Castle Ravenloft above. Seem to have made it without incident. Or have you? You're on the
Have
outskirts
we?
of the village.
I don't like that.
Well, kids, which ones are your houses?
The boy freak is the first one to answer, and he raises a hand silently and points into the village in a certain direction. Myrtle's a little bit more hesitant, but she says, that way, and she points a different direction.
Well, let's drop Freak off first, and then we'll take you home.
Sounds good.
I'm going to bring you guys to the village of Barovia.
Finally.
Finally, you guys have arrived at the village of Barovia.
Le Freak, says she.
We need a dun dun dun.
Bum, bum, bum. I'm going to change the music, actually.
Is that
It's a
in
good
the
time to change
soundboard?
music. No, I don't think it is.
Oh my.
That is definitely not it.
Oh, wait. There you go.
That's right.
Welcome to the Village of Barovia. Wah, wah, wah.
Alrighty then. Let me make sure that this is what it's supposed to be. Alrighty. Bring you guys to a new map here. Let's grab, I'll grab a little token. Actually, I'll grab all of your little tokens, kind of throw in here. You guys may end up splitting up. I mean, you guys love to split the party. Right? Let's make sure that we got Freak and Myrtle here too.
I know that is a bad thing to do, but it's just so much fun to do that.
It's all fun and
Until
games.
we all die.
Till someone loses a character.
Yeah.
Then it's really funny.
Alright, shrinking you guys all down here. Put you over on the road. Over there. These are two as well. Alrighty then. The village of Barovia. As you approach the village, you can see these tall shapes of buildings kind of looming up out of the fog. It surrounds everything here. It's almost more misty and foggy here in this village than in any other place that you've been. The ground here is muddy, and but eventually it sort of gives way to some slick, wet cobblestones that seem to line the streets of this village. The dwellings in here, each house has the windows of the houses here, most of them are dark. Very few lights within any of them. Even though the night has come here, you do see like smoke kind of coming from chimneys occasionally, so they must be inhabited. But maybe these people go to sleep very early, or something else is going on here. There's no sound kind of cutting through the silence except for an occasional, what sounds like sobbing from somewhere. That kind of comes and goes, and it's hard to tell exactly where it's coming from. Go roll perception checks, though. Maybe you can kind of figure out what that direction might be.
My passive is 2 higher.
Damn it, Bimothy, stop crying. We're trying to take these kids home.
I rolled my passive.
I know where they're coming from.
As you make your way into the main streets, I'm gonna put you up. I'm gonna keep your tokens down here for right now, and I'm just gonna put a group in it until you guys decide to break off or something like that into separate groups. It's gonna have one sort of group token. We'll use
We're
that.
not gonna break up. Right?
Yeah, you guys probably will. And then you guys
Never
take
split the party.
I take mayonnaise by the hand and take her to her house while everyone else is taking Frico.
All right, putting a little UR here. All right, in the streets. The sound of that sobbing, because you guys get to sort of like a main part of the town, and Freak is pointed off towards the sort of like the north. Let me see, where has he pointed?
Chateau Le Freak.
No, not Chateau La Freak. One moment. Make sure that I'm getting things right here. All right. The sobbing seems to be coming from a house down a street to the south. As you get sort of like a main square, it seems to be kind of coming from your right. But the other direction, there seems to be a larger structure that you think might be an inn over here. See this big red structure? You seen that on the map? Yep. Off to the north of the square here, you can see that there's a single shaft of light that illuminates kind of a gaping doorway right at the northern side here. There's a sign that hangs kind of precariously askew above the door, proclaiming this to be the Blood of the Vine Tavern. It's the only light that you guys have seen in any of these houses or buildings. It seems to be a common house. You don't see or hear music or people or anything just yet. The Freak has pointed off to the northern part of town, like over here, and Myrtle has pointed off to the southern side of town, like down this road where like the sobbing is coming from.
To Freak's house.
To Freak's house. You head north, following Freak, who leads you through the streets, right past the Blood of the Vine, up this road here. At the end of this road, you come to another sort of crossroad, and you can see straight ahead that there seems to be another site or location of interest. There is a church right up this road between these buildings. Right atop a slight rise, like a little bit of a hill just to the north of town. There is this sort of sagging gray edifice of stone and wood. It's a church. It's obviously weathered the assaults of time for a long time. It's been here long enough that like the building itself just seems to be like sagging, like an almost as if it's like defeated. There's a bell tower that rises from the back of it, and there's another little light that you finally see, a flickering light that shines through holes in the shingled roof kind of towards the back. Freak points off to the right, and he brings you down a side road to this house right over here. The house is dark, no lights within, and when you bring him here, he steps away from your group and he walks up to the front door and he opens it, and it's black inside, and he just steps right through the doorway and into the darkness. Says nothing to you, not even a goodbye, a thank you, or anything. And it seemed to be like just vanished into the darkness of this house. The door starts to close behind him.
I
Wait,
follow.
Freak.
Can
You
I
move up?
Yeah. Before the door closes, can we get in?
Yeah, you can go up to it, sure. And as you come up to the door, you see that in the darkness, Freak is standing there right next to it, like closing the door and looking up at you in confusion. Those that have dark vision can see into the house that there's no light in here at all. There are candelabras and lanterns kind of about, or lamps, but none of them are lit. Freak kind of stands in the very dim darkness of this structure in a hallway that has like a little bit of a sitting room off to the side and small stairs that goes to a second floor. You see nobody in here, and it's quiet. And Freak says nothing as he looks up at you in confusion. What do you do?
Can you grab your parents, Freak? We just want to make sure that you get to them safely.
He looks at you and he gives kind of like a little bit of like a shrug, and then he turns around and starts climbing the steps to the second floor. Do you go with him?
Yeah.
I don't think you need to follow the kid to his parents' room. That's weird.
Considering how dark this house is, it feels weird.
Well, what if we just wait here until they come down?
I'll wait at the top of the stairs.
Okay, I'll be down here. I hope you don't see anything you wish you didn't.
Okay.
You climb to the top of the stairs and wait as he steps off to the side and goes towards a room and opens a door. There are maybe 3 doors up here that go to like different rooms on the second floor, and you can see that there's a little stair that goes to an attic, like a really narrow one. He goes into this room and you can see beyond him, again, dark room, but you can see the foot of a bed and what appears to be covers over maybe a couple people sleeping in there. And he goes up to the bed and just stands there quietly for like 15 seconds. And like nothing seems to be happening. And then you hear like a tap, 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 as like he's patting the blankets. And you hear like a groan. Go away. Tap, 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 tap. Go away, go to sleep. Damn it, Freak, go away. Freak kind of steps back to the doorway and looks at you, just with his eyes wide. And then he kind of comes out the door and turns and heads down the hallway towards another door, which he opens and goes through.
You know, considering his parents named him Freak, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah. So I guess they didn't even know that he was missing.
You hear as his door closes.
All right.
The house now is quiet again, except for maybe the
He's
sound
aptly
of
named,
breathing.
huh? Time to go. Mayonnaise, where's your house?
Before we go, can I leave a note?
Sure. You have a piece of paper? What do you write down? Write down, put it in Discord so we have a note of it.
Do we still have rations? We've been eating like food as we've been traveling. Do we like? I know you
Mark
travel
off a
shit,
day
but
of whatever you got. I think some of you have given up some.
They give us like 10. What do I got in my inventory? Rations. I have 6.
Mark off one.
All right. Can I leave 3 at like the foot of, or with Jareth, so he can leave it at the kid?
Sure.
Cool. All right, time to go.
What's the note you're leaving? You still writing it?
I'm writing it, yeah.
All right. We'll continue on. Let me know when you have that written down. As you come outside, Myrtle is standing there waiting, kind of a little bit worried. She's like, we should hurry. We shouldn't. It's dark here. We shouldn't be out at night. And you guys begin heading back through the town. She brings you back the way that you came. You hang a left at that crossroads, kind of away from the church. Pass by the Blood of the Vine Tavern again, and then head south. About halfway down this street, you pass that house where you can hear that sort of sobbing coming from it. But she does not stop there. She continues on past that house. The sobbing, by the way, was coming from here, I think. And Myrtle brings you to the end of the lane here, to another house, a house that is larger than most of the other houses you've seen here in Barovia. It stands out as looking kind of maybe more important. One moment, and I'll get to it. Make sure this is
Are
the
there
right
any
place.
lights on in this house?
She's brought you to a mansion that kind of squats behind a rusting iron fence. The gates here kind of twisted, a little bit torn. The right gate lies kind of cast aside, while the left kind of swings in the wind. Every time the gate moves a little bit, there's like that type of creepy sound that comes through it, sort of like a plaintive squeal. The grounds of this of the mansion here are overgrown, but against the walls, they seem to have been sort of tramped down, almost like to create a path that goes around the structure itself. You also notice as you approach that some of the walls seem to, like the paint has been stripped off in streaks, as if something has clawed at the paint. There are also some marks on the walls as well that look like scorch marks, like someone like held a torch too close to the wall or something like that. There's a few of them kind of around, like near the door and on the side. The windows, you realize as you get close that they've all been broken. Looked like they were just dark, gaping holes, but as you get close, you realize the glass is just gone. Most of the windows have been barred up with wood, and some of them have been marked with symbols that those of you that have decent sort of religion or arcana checks would know are sort of wards against like evil. This does not seem to bother Myrtle, and she's still like pulling kind of Jareth closer to the front door. Give me a perception check, everybody.
I'll take my pass of 17.
Alrighty. Most of you notice that where the grass has been tamped down, there appear to be both human footprints and wolf prints.
It's your buddies, Garrison.
Oh no. Hey, you don't have any siblings, do you?
She looks up at you, and she just shakes her head really quickly.
Alright, good. Those wolves are known for taking kids. Some kind of creeps.
You get that little letter?
I did.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it over in my notes real quick. Actually, let's pin it.
So, your parents gonna be home? Is there somebody here for you?
She hesitates. Go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
I'm dumb as a rock, bro.
One second. Wow, there's a lot of bad insight checks. Is there any good ones? Nope.
Oh. Wait, insight or perception?
Insight. This was something else. Garrison had asked the girl something, and she was acting. She hesitated, and that's when I asked for like an insight check.
I'm so sorry.
Garrison, you don't notice anything wrong, but most of the rest of the group realize that she's looking at like the windows, and when you had asked her about like siblings and whatnot, you get the feeling that there's something wrong here. Like she's come to this house maybe expecting something else. She's come to the front door now, but seems to be sort of hesitating to go in. She looks very nervous.
Does this building look different than the others?
Does. It is a mansion as opposed to the rest of them being like 2-story, sort of townhomes.
Didn't you say she wasn't bothered by it, though?
What's that?
Didn't you say she wasn't bothered by, like,
Not
the
at first,
scene?
but now that she's up close, like at the front door, she's hesitating to go in, and you asked her about like siblings, and that's when she sort of like kind of froze up a bit.
I ask her, are you the daughter of the Burgermeister?
She kind of wrings her hands and she shakes her head no.
This looks like the
But then-
Burgermeister's house, though.
Jeez, he says, it is. He's the only one in town that I think I can trust. I was hoping that he would help me. I can't really go to my home. I mean, I'm from here. I'm from this village, but I don't really want to go home. The Burgermaster's a good man. And I was hoping that he would take me in.
Why
But
can't you go?
the house wasn't like this when I left. Something's happened here.
Alright.
Wolves were here recently. Probably
Uh,
werewolves.
Well, then I'll go up and knock on the door.
There is no answer.
Are there any scratch marks on the door?
The door itself is there's a scratch mark kind of near the handle, and as you kind of you realize that it's the door itself. There's like some splinters on the ground. The door still seems to be in one piece. But you think it might have been forced open at some point.
This is not good.
Anyone up for a dog hunt? And Garrison kicks open what's left of the door and goes inside.
Garrison kicks open the door. The interior of the mansion, as you guys look in, it's unlit, but most of you have dark vision. You can see that it's well furnished. Yet the fixtures do show sign of great wear, as if they've been around for a long time. There are some oddities in the boarded up windows, and you see holy symbols in the rooms that the first rooms that you come into. When you begin looking around the rest of the house, you find in a side drawing room that on the floor there is a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers, and there is the faint odor of decay. The coffin itself is closed.
I shout, Burgermaster Koilan Indrovich, are you here?
There's no answer.
Let's go investigate.
Well, we got a coffin here. Should we check the rest of the house before we check this thing?
I don't have dark vision, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast a light spell.
Ah,
Alright.
my eyes.
Oh, I can
Warren
see
is
it now.
behind.
Thank you.
Jesus. Oh,
Actually, who has dark vision? Is it just?
all of us but you, probably.
I
No,
don't know. it.
I don't have it.
I think it's just Garrison
I have
and Jareth. Okay, and that's all.
That's because Nazoth has made deals with demons.
So
Deal
half
with
the
the
party.
devil.
Half the party can see the dark, the other half cannot.
Mine's because Jeremy loves me.
You and Jeremy.
Hey, Gretchen, before we check this coffin, would you mind saying a prayer or something so we don't disturb any dead if there's in there?
We should make sure no one's upstairs first.
Oops, I mean,
Yeah, I agree. We should clear the house. Something has happened here.
Alright, slice the pie. We hit the next room.
All right. You don't open the coffin. You begin searching around, right?
Just to make sure there's no strangers or threats inside the house before we start opening coffins.
You begin searching through the rest of the mansion. There's 2 floors to it. It's fairly sizable compared to the rest of the buildings around here, but you find it pretty much empty. No sound of people. No sign of life here. No smells of cooking having been done recently. You find a kitchen that has moldy bread in it, long moldy, and any foods that were perishable have really turned to rot, and there's like grubs and stuff kind of like eating what's left of the mold.
This happened a
There-
while ago.
Yeah, this seems to have happened a while ago. There. Also, give me a religion check real quick for, or Arcana check for anybody that's got skills in those.
I have both. Can I use both?
If you're skilled in both, you can roll the better one with advantage.
They're the same.
Then you can roll one with advantage or roll both.
Okay.
Now you have disadvantage. Damn, how long were they fattening this girl up for? Garrison says in character.
Myrtle, do you know
How
how
long she's been
long
there?
roughly you were there?
So the person was.
I don't know, a couple weeks maybe. There were other children, but they came and they went. I didn't want to eat when I was there, but the other ones, I didn't seem to care. They just whatever whatever those sisters and their mother told them to do, they just did it. I was so scared. Couldn't eat.
Probably a good thing.
Looking around the house, first of all, the Arcana check or the religion check indicates that there was some sort of a ritual that was done on this casket. There's a little bit of silvery powder that you guys would recognize as being used in many sort of clerical types of spells. You suspect that some sort of ritual to protect this body was done. You don't know. I mean, you assume that there's a body in there. You haven't opened it yet. But there's evidence of some sort of protective spell being cast upon the coffin.
Like gentle repose or something?
Yeah, something like that, but maybe something else too. But you don't know if it was like fully completed. Like there's no effect of the spell other than some of the components out there. But if you want, you can cast like a detect magic or something like that if anybody's got it and wants to sort of check, with their arcane senses.
Can I ask Myrtle, do you know if the Burgermeister had any other children besides his adopted daughter, Irina?
He nods and he says, yes, there's Irina and there was Ismark, his son.
Ismark, so where the heck is Ismark?
She kind of shrugs. They lived here. And as you guys are looking around this place, you find a family portrait on one of the walls in another room, sort of like a den. And you recognize two figures in there. There's an older figure, an older man who looks distinguished. You don't recognize him, but there are two younger individuals, a young woman and a young man. The young woman resembles that image that you guys saw of. You've seen it a few times now. It has a similar sort of look as. Sorry, I'm brain farting here. A superficial, similar look to Vasilka, the abbot's construct, or whatever she is.
And what Tatiana, what we described about her?
And Tatiana as well.
Oh, so that must have been the reason why Irina was attacked by the vampire that was written about in the letter that we found.
The young man that also stands in this image is someone that Garrison yelled at in Kresk. You remember him in the back of he was in the back of a cottage as you guys were heading up the road, and there was a woman who was kind of covered in a cloak, and she was working the garden in the back. And then
that guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh my god. What was he doing there?
You don't know. But that woman had striking green eyes, and so did Vasilka. You didn't really get a good look at her. But now that you're looking at this image here, and you're seeing this guy that you had seen now in Kresk, who had a woman with him that he'd kind of ushered quickly into this cottage, like out of your sight, and told you to like leave them alone. You are fairly certain that you have seen Irina Kolyana and her brother Ismark in Kresk.
Why are they in Kresk and Irina is alive, which means she had to have been turned?
He was a vampire, right?
She was bitten. Read the letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she turned? You don't know.
Yeah, all we were told was she was bitten. I assumed she had died.
Right.
Because
I
they
assumed
said
that
it was a bloodsucker, basically just took everything.
The letter never said that she died. It just said that she was being hunted by the Lord of the Land. And you know that Strahd has this obsession with these women. Many of them now kind of have a similar look to Vasilka, to Irina, and that is all going back to Tatiana, his first wife, that was in love with his brother, whom both of them died terribly. And you've now heard the story that Strahd killed his brother, pursued Tatiana, tried to force her to marry him, and then she, died, threw herself from Castle Ravenloft. And ever since, Strahd seems to be sort of picking up new brides, or trying to find brides that he thinks have some sort of connection to Tatiana. And Irina, from this image you see on the wall, is sort of a spitting image of that drawing that you guys that Esmeralda found in the Wizard's Tower. This woman in Kresk, to Vasilka in the monastery. There may be even others out there. You've heard other names, but you haven't seen images of them.
So, what we have to go on with the tracks outside, it seems like the Burgermeister was killed and his son and daughter have escaped to Kresk.
Maybe.
And
Wait,
this
so that
happened.
Cannot confirm nor deny, but that is a good theory.
And because we went to Kresk early on and we found that letter, he must have written that letter, was attacked, as was the deliverer, and his children ran. So there's nobody protecting Barovia right now.
There was nobody protecting Barovia before. The Burgomaster, I mean, if you think that he had power, you've met other Burgomasters. Do they have power? They kind of, seems as if they serve at the will of Strahd.
Right, but at least they're there protecting people, like being some temporary figure of authority.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
And as of this moment, Barovia does not have one.
No, it does not. Well, you don't know for certain, because you haven't opened that coffin and you don't know who's in it.
I feel like we need to open it. Gretchen, can you say a prayer? I'd rather not wake some dead.
Well, a prayer's not going to help too much with that.
Can you bless the body to make sure the soul reaches the other side?
Well, if it's already been turned, we'll have to take care of it when we find that out.
Let's do it. Somebody give me a pry bar.
Doesn't seem like it needs a pry bar. You can
All right.
just lift the lid.
Garrison flips the lid over.
You open the coffin and you realize you guys have been to a coffin maker's place before. You kind of know how a coffin's built, and as a grave cleric, Gretchen has probably had plenty of experience with coffins in the past. This one seems to have not been made by someone who was good at such things or was practiced. Seems as if it's made from scrap wood, especially when you pull off the lid and part of it kind of falls apart. Some of the flowers on the top scatter a little bit. You're there ready with weapons for whatever lies inside, but all you find is an older man who seems to be very well preserved, lying inside the coffin, obviously dead, very, very pale, and he matches the image of the Burgomaster that you had seen on the wall with Irina and her brother Ismark.
Can I tell which spell have been cast on it?
Now that you're looking at the body, yes, you realize, I'm going to use the same role that you had before, that whatever they did to his body, it's mostly preserved because they put some lye on it, which I think is a preservative. I'm not sure. There's something you put on bodies which does that. But
It's lye.
if there was a spell on this that is since faded and he is starting to decompose, and if there was a protective spell to sort of prevent it from being, I don't know, desecrated or something like that, you don't think that you're not sure if that was successful or not. But the body itself doesn't move. It doesn't breathe, nor does it open its eyes and bow at you. You think that someone who knows a little bit about, or maybe the sort of superstitious lore of like protecting a body, did the best that they could.
Okay.
Whoever did this was not a practiced spellcaster, but knew enough to kind of know some of the trappings that go
Approximate it.
along with that spell. Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and cast a gentle repose. That'll last for 10 days, so...
All right. Mark it off.
All right,
Art.
let's close that coffin up there. All right, well, Myrtle, show us where your parents
Myrtle,
are.
when she sees Myrtle's with you, like when you open this thing, and like she's probably way in the back, away from this. Creeps a little bit closer just to confirm for herself, just as you're closing it back up and casting this spell, and she starts to kind of cry again. And she says, "He was such a good man. Oh, what am I supposed to do now?"
Let's go see your parents.
I don't know if she wants to.
She shakes her head. She's like, "I don't want to go back to them. They're the ones that they sold me. They sold me to them."
God damn! Why didn't anybody say anything
Why didn't
earlier?
you say that?
This is what I'm saying.
I thought that I could come here. I thought if I told you that they were dead, that you wouldn't take me here, that you wouldn't bring me here.
Myrtle, show us where your
It was
parents
a handsome
live.
regret of the choice.
We must
Wait, no.
talk to them ourselves.
They sold a child.
Exactly.
Yeah, we should kill.
They
We
s-
should
and
kill
they
her
Sold
parents.
me for their meat pies.
Alright,
Everyone
Okay.
loves those things. They'll do anything for them in this town.
then
We're
let's
gonna
get
kill
you
her.
some justice, Myrtle.
Meanwhile,
Wait, wait, wait.
Nazoth and Jareth and anybody that took a bite of those things, every time they mention the meat pie, and you haven't thought about this till now, but like your mouth starts watering. Like they're
God.
really good meat pies.
We're gonna eat your parents. Don't worry.
We're
Nazoth,
not
if
eating
you-
anyone's parents.
Nazoth, if you had one of those pies right now, you'd probably want to eat it.
I do have a solution to this problem. Let's go grab Lefreak, and we've opened up a church, not here, but somewhere else, and they're taking in orphans, and I know they will gladly give you shelter. If you don't want to live here, you can go to a place that is safe, that's showing some light. You would just have to travel with us for a bit. But you're just as brave as Bimothy or Riles, so it's fine.
Maybe you.
I'm not very
church-
brave.
Maybe you should take me to Donovich then. Donovich, he runs the church in town.
Oh, there's a church here. I forgot about that. We walked past it. I was so concerned. Well,
That's
that
what you
church
thought
is
you were
really-
talking about when you mentioned like a church. You kind of like said,
No. We got a better church. We got a whole better thing going on.
Well, show us your house first.
Yeah,
We
first
need
let
to
us
talk
kill
to your
parents
parents.
with our blades. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
not kill the little girl's parents in front of her.
Well, she needs to witness.
Why would she need to witness that?
No, she can
So
wait
she gets-
outside while we talk.
No, it'll be like redemption. Imagine getting sold away by her parents and then getting to watch them get eaten.
Now, if she wants to have revenge when she's in her 20s, that's fine. But let's let that be her decision.
I think
Like,
this will
oh,
be.
she doesn't want to go back to her
plot.
parents. She's like, they're terrible people. Take me to Donovich instead.
No, they won't be alone. Don't worry.
Don't worry, we won't take you back to them. We just want to talk to them.
Aggressively.
Aggressively. All right. If you insist, she's going to lead you to her parents' house, but she does so very reluctantly.
Tell me more about the church, then. What is it a church to?
The Church of the Morning Lord. Like, it's one of the only churches that is in the valley. That I think I've heard that there's another, like a monastery somewhere else, and I think Vallaki has a church. But Donovich, he's been our priest for a long time. He's not so popular here in town, but that's because he's been trying to warn others of the dangers of. And she kind of gestures up towards the castle with a shaky finger.
It's okay. That's exactly how our church started in Vallaki. And then we threw a party, and everybody loves us. It's all going to work out. We're going to take care of your parents and teach them a lesson. And then we're going to go meet Donovan. It's all going to be great.
Cut to Vallaki, where the church of the theater just burns.
No.
That thing is protected, okay?
I'm sure that nothing can happen there. All right, she leads you down some streets over to another house. Small house. not much more than a shack. She says that her mother died long ago. She was like, doesn't even really remember her, but her father lives in this place, and his name is, one second. His name is Walter.
Alright. Myrtle, stay out here with Giggles and Esmeralda, and I walk up and knock on the door with my staff.
Is this necessary?
Of course it is. Sell your children? Oh.
One second. I'm gonna put a note up here so you guys have it. All right, come and you knock on this door late at night. Again, windows are all dark. This one, same thing. And you hear a voice from inside just say, "Go away!"
We're here on behalf of the Burgermeister.
Burgermaster's dead. Go away, whoever you are. You're not invited. I don't invite you in. You're disinvited.
Garrison, want to have some fun?
Wait, we've got a deal for you. We're trying to sell back children.
What? Children? What are you talking about?
Fuck it.
Go
Blow
away!
open the door.
You don't try to open the door and it is locked.
No, I blow open the door.
You blow open the door with what?
Oh, jeez.
Eldritch blast the door. Hell yeah.
Eldritch blast in the door?
Blows
Alright.
in its nose.
Door itself is not going to withstand a couple of Nazoth's Eldritch blasts. And soon enough, you guys are bursting your way into this guy's house. He's in his night clothes, kind of half dressed.
Gretchen does not
hallway
is not
to another
involved in
room,
this.
and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he just turns and tries to run out the back door. But you guys are faster than a dude in his underwear, and you capture him pretty easily. And he's like, "Help! Anyone help!" And he's just got as you guys are wrestling him to the ground, no one comes to aid him. You do see whoever's outside, Gretchen. You see somebody in an upstairs window across the way, a pale face kind of look out, and then just slowly close the drapes of their window.
Have fun, Garrison.
Get off me! Leave me alone!
Why would you sell your daughter?
It's not my daughter. And Myrtle's kind of hiding behind everybody else. He kind of looks past you guys, and he's like, "What's she doing here?
Weird.
What are you doing here?"
Well, we talked to the hags, and they told us that you sold us. You sold her to them.
Hags? What hags?
Morgantha.
The ladies at the bone grinder, the ones that you used to get the pies from.
Morgantha. She's just a kindly old woman. Now she said she could take care of her. She could take care of her. She said she would take care of her. She'd put her to work. Give her a place to sleep, and as many pies as she wanted.
This place to sleep was
Did you bring
a
any
cage.
pies with you? Do you have any pies?
No, the pies are poisoned.
But we
my
did bring
breath.
sandwiches, though.
The pies are
Knuckle
cracked.
sandwiches. I punch him in the face.
You punch him in the face. You knock out a couple teeth. He just kind of just goes limp, and his head kind of lolling back, and he just starts kind of muttering about pies and that Myrtle should be fine, and Morgantha's a kindly old woman. And he keeps kind of circling back to these pies, to say to you, "Do you have any more? Are they bringing more? I didn't do anything wrong."
Those pies must have been fantastic.
This guy, even though he's his obsession with the pies, and he seems to be completely sort of a little bit out of his mind. There's also a deadness to this guy's eyes, like almost as if none of this really matters. And you've seen this in other people that you've encountered in Barovia. There are certain folk that you've come across who just it looks as if they've given up on life. There's nothing behind their eyes. The child freak that you guys encountered, a few children you've encountered like this, was like that as well.
I think you've described them as not having souls or sparks.
Yeah, they don't have. It's like they don't have souls. It's like that light behind the eyes of people that have souls. It doesn't exist in these
I
people.
wonder if all these people have been resurrected.
Don't know.
Like that one kid, he was resurrected fine, but he was just like, bleh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one kid resurrected. Now back in Kresk, living right across the street. Marina and Ismark.
I'm sure that's fine.
This guy seems useless, by the way. Convincing him to take care of his daughter, you have no faith that he can do it. Whatever those hags were up to with these pies, Nazoth is already feeling it. Jareth as well. Like you just, every time it's mentioned, like your just mouth starts to water a bit. Like it's like it's one of those. It's the best thing you've ever had. And this guy has obviously eaten a lot of them. So much that he became obsessed and sold his daughter for a pie.
Anybody have like a cure addiction spell? What would it be?
It's called Sword Smite.
Sword Smite?
Well, even Rob's rooting for it now.
No. I'm just saying that this guy is like kind of beyond hope. Maybe,
Oh, I don't care about
maybe
that
he
guy.
could
I'm
be
talking
brought
about
around
me.
somehow. You don't really know what the deal is with these pies just yet. Maybe he's cursed. Maybe some sort of removed curse could help with it. Maybe it's something else.
I just need to have remove curse like constantly in my spell list, don't I?
We did get a spell scroll of remove curse.
Oh yeah.
Did you use that one?
Oh.
I think I used the spell because
You know, I could, because I got to get rid of that summon demon spell. I could just switch it out for remove curse. Rob will let me.
Is remove curse on the warlock list?
Yeah, it's third level spell. I can switch it out for summon lesser demons.
All right.
yeah, and I can prepare it next long rest too.
You guys tell me what you do.
Can you cast it now, Nazoth, or?
No, it won't be until you guys have had like a long rest because you already did
Okay.
the summon demons thing.
I shut the door so Myrtle doesn't see, and I knock out the dad, take him upstairs to bed. Come on, let's go take her to the church.
Door closes slowly, and then she just hears from the side. Smack. And the sound of heels dragging on wood.
Let's open the door. All right, let's go to the church.
All right. To the church you go. Alrighty. Cross town. Where are we here? Oh, here we go. You pass through town again, and this time, as you guys are making your way through the streets, you get the weird feeling like you're being watched. Every once in a while, there is like a shadow that moves in one of the windows, or a curtain that kind of, closes just a little bit more. You guys have had a kind of a loud confrontation in the streets here. It seems to have been noticed. Across town, you come back to the church, and sort of sagging on this little hill. You can see a graveyard behind it. As you get close to the doors to the church, you can see that the heavy wooden doors are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire, but they still seem to stand.
Maybe this place is protected too. Let's knock on the door.
Alrighty.
Come
You go
on,
up,
knock on the
bam,
door.
bam, bam, on the door. One second here while I get you
Lucy,
into the
we're
door.
home. Donovan, I want to suck your blood.
Can we see the same sort of protection that the church had in the other place?
It's not something that you can see. It's something that they said they had. It was the bones that were under the place, and they had told you about it. There wasn't like a feeling or anything like that. When they were restored, there was a bit of like light that came through the windows that kind of gave you that sense after the fact. But without that, you probably wouldn't know. I mean, if you want to like cast detect magic and see if there's a spell or something around this place, you can do that. But by just looking at the place, no.
Okay.
1 second here. One second, I'm just revealing part of the church here. I gotta sort of reveal it off camera first before I bring you guys to it. City map. All right. Let's bring you guys to this new map. Let's grab your tokens. Shove you on the board. Where are your tokens? Oh, they're over here.
Can I check the door?
It's already been knocked on. I'm just bringing you guys to a new map.
No, I detect magic.
Oh, you're casting detect magic?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on one moment. Let me see if there's magic on the door. You are sensing no magic here. If this place is protected, you think you might sense something, but you sense nothing. Maybe the physical protection of the physical strength of this door kept things out. Or maybe it didn't. As Garrison knocks on the door, there maybe 30 seconds later, you can kind of hear a little bit of movement beyond. A tiny bit of a light kind of coming under the seams of the door. Who is it? Who's there? Comes a voice.
Followers of the Morning Lord. We're here from Vallaki. We're here to take sanctuary within your church.
Vallaki. Sanctuary. What has happened to Vallaki? Your names. Who are you?
Well, I'm Garrison. There's a lot of other people. If you just open the door, this is kind of rude. But nothing bad happened there. We've been helping rebuilding the church. We've restored the blessings of Saint Vitruvio.
Nope, that's a different game.
Different game. Sorry. So
That's it is the Morning Lord, Lathander.
Lathander was his name. But that's whose bones were down there.
Oh no! Oh, you're talking about the saint. That was not Vitruvio. I can tell you that. Hold on a second.
Sorry.
I got it. I'm gonna have to hunt that down.
But there's
Vallaki so far in the rear view window. It is, I believe, it's the bones of Saint Andrel.
Andrel. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, we restored that, and the place is protected, and we're bringing people to the light, showing them a positive way. We even had a wine party.
A wine party.
Yeah, we stole wine from cultists. It was great.
It is after dark. This is. Do you say you need sanctuary?
Well, these children do, and I was hoping that your cathedral here was the very same like the one we found. And
did you guys go back and grab Freak or something like that, or no? It's only Myrtle's with you at the moment.
Garrison mentioned he wanted to, and I think that would be a good idea.
I just left.
You gonna go kidnap some? You gonna go kidnap someone?
Oh man. When you phrase it like that. But the kid's essentially an orphan. I mean.
We'll make him an orphan for his own good.
No, that's.
I know what you're saying there, Rich. Maybe we'll just ask him if he wants to come. You know,
This is
like
this
mayonnaise.
is not a really good time. The night is dangerous time here in Barovia. You
You
guys
would turn
hear
aside
from
people.
somewhere. You guys hear from somewhere inside, very distantly, a sort of inhuman scream, just in the far distance, like. "Ah." And then the guy behind the door says, "This is not a good time. Not a good time.
Okay, cool. We're coming in.
Come back in the morning."
All right, right now.
We should have
Sounds
stayed
good.
at the camp.
Yeah, don't worry. We're going in here. It's gonna be great. Garrison opens the door.
All right. Let's see here.
Thank you for your blessings.
The door is going to take an strength check or athletics check to open. And just give me something barricading on the far
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, Garrison, you're trying to
Athletics,
break into a church. You realize
Yeah.
that, right?
For its own good, like you and your orphans.
It's not the
Strength.
same. It's,
Jareth, what were you saying?
I'm gonna give him enhanced ability bull strength.
All right.
I could just
roll
help
again.
him.
oh god.
Mark off the spell and roll again.
Hell yeah.
Still the same thing.
Strong like
He's
bull.
bumping against the door. Go away! No, please
No.
leave me alone. You got again. You hear in the distance that scream.
You will see the light. Timothy, help me.
You also get temp HP.
Timothy, do you want to help him out?
Sure.
Oh my
The
god.
temp HP is for I think only if you use the Constitution version.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll help
We
Garrison.
can just walk back to the camp. It's only really dark, not really dark.
It's only really dark.
Myrtle at this point is like wringing her hands, like maybe we should just go back to the camp. As Timothy comes up and just throws his shoulder into this thing. Give me a check.
You
A
will
strength
accept
check?
us.
It's
you
an
say
athletics check.
Or athletics, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll give you some
I
guidance.
didn't mean to roll 2. It's just an 8.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
eight.
so you guys are having a hard time pushing these doors open. Maybe that's why whatever came here before, maybe they didn't get in. Whoever it was that's inside barricaded it pretty well. You can give it another shot if you wish, though.
We'll come back in the morning, introduce ourselves properly.
There's something going on behind that door. It might not be good.
Did the sound come from behind the door or just in the distance?
Somewhere you think inside the building, but
Okay.
like it seemed distant.
Ah,
There, Timothy, use your head.
damn it.
Here, I'm gonna grab you by the waist. Ramming speed.
what?
I love it, yeah.
Can you do it? Can Garrison do it again?
Ram?
I support
What
this
is
idea.
that?
Yeah,
Because
either
as
one.
long as I
both of
concentrate,
them can make another roll.
he still has advantage.
You can both roll again. Garrison, you get to roll with advantage because you still have enhanced ability.
I knew you could do it.
Timothy's
Oh,
gonna get it
Lord.
open now with a 20.
I literally will hunch down and actually ram it with my horns.
All right. Blam! Door slides open, some debris kind of sliding out of the way. And behind it, there's a hallway here, and there is a older, sort of doughty type of gentleman kind of standing in the hallway not far away with a holy symbol out, kind of holding it up, looking desperate and frightened.
Mr. Donovan, pleasure.
Go away! No, don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! He kind of backs away a little bit further. You can see behind him that there is a chapel that seems to be in shambles. Although there is at the far end, you can also see that there's a little bit of like an altar here, which also seems to be a bit damaged, but still standing.
Calm down, Father.
Donovich here, if this is indeed Donovich, he is. His vestments look like a bit torn, kind of soiled from not having been cleaned. He looks a bit of disarray and a little bit kind of drawn, like he hasn't slept in like a while. When you say his name, when you say Donovan, he kind of stops, but his name is Donovich, and he's like, "My name is Donovich. What do you want?"
What's with the screaming?
Then you hear, again from somewhere, and it sounds like it's coming from like maybe almost under the floor somewhere inside this church. And he kind of looks around a little bit worried, and he says, that is my son. He is in great pain. And then you hear again like another scream, and this time now that the door's open, you can kind of make it out a little bit, and it sounds like a voice is calling out, "Father, I'm starving."
Let's
He's
help
what?
him.
Starving.
Starving.
Father Donovich, was your son attacked as by the same thing that attacked the Burgermeister's adopted daughter?
The Burgermaster? No, my son is he is not right in the head. He made mistakes. But he is a danger to himself, so I keep him locked away.
Donovan, we have divine clerics here. We have people with other magics. Let us see him. Maybe we can help.
He kind of still stands like away from like the entrance, just watching you. Has anybody gone inside yet? It seems as if he's hesitant to like say anything to you, and he's watching you, and you see him kind of glancing down at your feet. And as Garrison like steps inside, he does like a little bit of like a jump, like flinches as you step through the through the threshold of the church. But then he sort of drops to his knees, and he's like, just don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you. We need you. Now let's go help your kid. Come on.
I think he is beyond help. I've tried every prayer I know.
All right. Well, that's why you're not here, and she is. And he points at Gretch, and he grabs him by his like clerical
go.
robes, and he's like, "Let's go."
God, I wish I had removed purse.
Can I check this door? Try to find.
Yeah.
her
Now that you guys
up
are
there?
inside, you can let me know which door you want to check. Garrison, you step inside the chapel itself, and it's in ruins. Like all the pews have been trashed and torn to shreds, and there's claw marks kind of on stuff everywhere here. Which door? You open the door on the left. That leads to a bedroom, a simple bedroom with a bed.
Oh, excellent! Come on in, Myrtle.
Myrtle is like, she looks outside, she looks inside, and she sort of like kind of steps to like here, kind of like just doing what she's told. She's like, and Donovich says, how do I know that I can trust you? Prove to me that you're not one of his minions. He had to torture me further.
We're not gonna hurt you. We're literally gonna go help your son. Are you hurt? Is there anything I can do to help you?
I am fine. You can tell that he's not really fine. You think this guy has probably just not slept in a long time, or slept very well. But there's nothing you can do like physically for him at the moment.
Can I cast prestidigitation on the bed for her?
Clean it of bug bites, the bed bugs and stuff like that out of it.
Yeah, just make it sleepable.
The this bedroom here is. The room is a bit dirty. There's no windows in here, so it's dark, which means that she can't see she's human, and you're kind of like ushering into a very dark room with a straw-filled sort of mattress.
Is there
mounted above the headboard in here is the wooden holy symbol.
is there a candle anywhere?
None that you see in here.
Father Donovich, you got a candle?
I have a few torches. Why?
Well, the little girl should have some light so she can sleep.
Why have you brought a child here? What? I know you, don't I? And Myrtle says, yes, my name's Myrtle. Myrtle, yes, I have seen you before. Poor child. What are you doing with her?
Her father had sold her to some hags. We had rescued
Hags?
her. Yes, I believe she takes the visage of a old woman who operates a bakery out of the Bone Grinder.
Bone grinder. Is it Morgantha and her daughters?
Yes, hags.
The one that sells pies in the square here.
Yes, she puts something in it to make people sleep.
Yes, I've noticed there's something strange about them. I've never had one myself. I am not a man for such pleasures. Poor child. That is my son's old room. This is Doru's old room. He has not slept in there in many moons. Here, let me get some light. And he moves over and grabs like a lantern from inside the chapel and helps light this room. You should be safe here. Yes, stay here. Pray to the morning Lord Child. Hopefully he will protect you. She goes and just kind of sits on the bed, looking a little wide-eyed. And again, you hear like that voice from below, "Father!" Just kind of like screaming out. Garrison, you're looking around this room, but there doesn't seem to be any way that goes downstairs from here.
Dante, how do we get in the basement?
My name's Donovich. Why do you keep calling me these other names?
Because it's so loud in here, I can't understand anything when you're screaming, son. Can you just take us there? I don't want a tour.
He goes to the door here. He says, "Are any of you priests? Or perhaps those that have powers of removing curses or worse? I have tried everything, but the Morning Lord does not grant me the power to help him. He is dangerous. You should beware."
Let's see. Alright, so out of character, do we still have that scroll?
I don't know. Is it on the list?
I can't cast it.
I can cast it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
How many
So we
uses
got
do you
it.
Somebody should have it on their list, because we took it off Party Treasure at some point.
Oh,
Wait, spell scrolls, hold on. Nope, there's one of... Am I looking at the right thing here?
I just learned decurse, but it's like I got to do a long rest, like you said.
Yeah, and same thing. It's on my spell list. I just don't have it prepared.
when was this? This was a while ago.
I think we
I mean,
put.
we got
You know
it.
what? I might have used it because I know the session we used it was the same session I gained remove curse, but I don't know if I had it prepared yet.
If you're the only one I think that would have been able to cast it, it should be on your character sheet. And if it's not, then I think maybe you used it, because it's not on the...
I do not. I don't have it on here.
I just see the
think
spell
maybe it's
scrolls: bless, protection from poison, and spiritual weapon.
Yeah, that was a different spell scroll.
Yeah.
The remove curse was from somewhere
I
else.
think
Got
we
it back
used
in
it
March.
because I didn't have remove curse prepared.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Then the possibility of spending a night here if we don't have anything else that can fix it.
But we have hags that want to eat our face when we go to sleep next.
Yeah, that's their problem. What
And
does
this place will not protect us from them. I'm pretty sure.
might?
Beyond this door that Donovich has just opened, just by the way, since you've been asking, let's not delay that too much. There's a dirty room. It contains hold on a second. Hold on, where's this? There's some holes that have sort of been punched in the ceiling of this room. There's a smell of mold in here. A few broken roof shingles have kind of dropped down into this room, kind of amid puddles of water. The rain must be soaking through the roof, and like the roof is compromised above this room, kind of leading to like a little bit of flooding. And you see in one corner set into the floor, there's a heavy wooden trap door that is held shut with a chain and a padlock. And the screams, young man's screams of anguish, are louder in this room, coming from beneath that trap door. Donovich says to you, he points towards the trap door and he says, he's down there. He's down there.
Let's pray to your morning god that we can help him.
I probably won't be able to do anything substantial tonight, but we can at least determine what's going on.
All right, I will go over there. Do you have a key to this, or do I gotta break this?
I had one once, but it was stolen when they destroyed the chapel.
Okay.
Damn beasts came for this place, torturing me.
Breaking it is. Timothy, would you mind? Definitely better at this than I am.
I mean, should we until we're like, no, we're absolutely prepared to do this? Because
All right, never
That would be a
mind.
good idea.
I'm kind
I
of
got
worried
it.
if we break this door that whatever's down there we might not be
Yeah.
able to contain.
It's a 13. Break the lock, bro.
Without having.
Let's not go down there. Snap. The
Oh.
lock. The lock itself, I don't think is very strong. Hold on. No, the chain does not break with a 13, but you think that you could, like the trap door is pretty swollen and rotted, and you could probably just break through the trap door without even like releasing the chain.
Oh, cool. I'll just step through it.
Yeah, you just give it a few kicks, and it busts open, and now you have an open hole, and no way to seal it back up.
Donovan Jr., are you okay down
Wait.
there?
I can't do anything for him now. This.
You don't know that.
Uh,
Donovan Jr.
Down through the trapdoor, there's a little bit of a ladder that is mostly broken away, and a drop of about maybe, if you hang, it's maybe about 10 feet from like the ceiling to from where the trapdoor is to this little landing where a set of stairs goes down to an undercroft beneath the chapel itself. It is again dark down there, no lights at all. So get your lights ready if you need them. And what you can see from where you are,
I cast light.
Garrison climbs down the hall.
about this much. Over on the right hand side, trapdoor goes to here, and stairs descend further.
I can't get there, Rob. There's balls.
There is?
I don't know. There's something.
Oh, there is something. Hold on one second.
You-
There is something that's black and white. Give me 1 second. All right, now they're gone.
How's that? All right, Garrison drops down the hall. Donovan Jr.
Garrison, what are we gonna do when we find him? What is the plan here?
I'm gonna
The
lay my
undercroft is made of rough-hewn stone. Floor is damp clay and earth. There's rotting wooden pillars here, straining into the way to the wooden ceiling above. Candlelight from the chapel above slips down through a couple of cracks, allows you kind of to glimpse little tiny pools of light in the undercroft, and illuminated in one far corner is a gaunt boy, young man, maybe 18, 19 or something like that. He's very thin. He's wearing rags, and is just like holding his head and kind of like rocking back and forth. You start coming down the stairs. He turns to look your direction, and just calls out, "Father, Father, I can smell it. I can smell your blood." And this is an image of his son Doru.
Oh god.
Don't worry, Donovan Jr. We're here to help you. Just stay
You
calm.
see in his mouth as it opens wide that two of his teeth have grown into long fangs.
Oh
Oh,
god,
nice.
vampire?
What nice teeth you have.
What
was
nice
expecting-
teeth you have indeed. And Doru, as he smells fresh flesh descending the stairs, starts charging across the room. And that's where we're going to hold off for today.
But this is awful.
He really
I mean,
stepped
it's
into
great,
it.
It's great, but oh damn.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. You finally got to the village of Barovia.
Oh,
I know. I got vampire. Oh, boy.
And we adopted 2 children.
Well, one. Did you guys go get Freak, by the way?
I just left him with a note.
No, you didn't go back and get him, right? You didn't pick him up on
Yeah.
the way here.
mentioned it, but we didn't. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I don't
He
think
does
that
have 3 rations.
3 rations. Nice. All right, everybody. Good job. Good job. Got pretty far today. Now you might be in deep shit.
Oh, yeah.
Or not.
Yeah?
I don't know.
When are we not in deep
Donovan
shit?
Jr. is going to be very understanding. Don't worry.
Donovan Jr. His name is Doru.
And it's Donovan's Jr.
And it's not even Donovan. Donovich.